I can't believe you would say that. That's completely unacceptable. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D6 icon, and we're back today for another episode of The World Tree Burns. And by the sounds of it, we may be burning in hell shortly as well. I hear that we've gotten ourselves into a bit of a scenario today, so I'm looking forward to dying together. Let's get ready to cast the crew. Let's remind ourselves of who we are and who we're playing today. And let's start with our illustrious Dungeon Master, Dan Dillon. Dan, how's it going, my friend?
It's going all right. Hi, everybody. I'm delighted to see you all here again, my players, my lovely, lovely players, and our beautiful, beautiful viewers. I'm Dan Dillon. I'm going to be your Dungeon Master for this evening in the dark fantasy world of Midgard from Cobalt Press. And we've got some stuff on our plate. So we may be just kicking off with an initiative roll here in a minute. So just kick it on over to everybody else and get ready to go.
Oh, boy. Love it. Simply, how's it going today?
It's great now that I'm here. Hi, my name is Simply Jackson. I'm a variety broadcaster. I make art, like paintings like you can't see. They're over here somewhere. And sometimes I play games. Mostly I just goof off. But I play Tilly, our resident dwarf fighter. And I guess we're about to do just that. Unless we're going to be a dwarf runner. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? It's in the dice. I don't know.
Fantastic. And we have McLogan back with us today. Logan, how's it going, my friend?
Hi. We're fucked. That's my disposition. Today I'll be playing Clark, the level-known ranger. This may be his last episode, so we'll see what happens.
Optimistic. I like it. And we have Scarlett back with us today. Scarlett, how you doing?
Well, I hear that hell is really nice to visit during winter, so I'm sure it'll be fine. I have a modicum of a plan. Yeah, Dan's just excited to have us back because he wants to kill us all and make us re-roll characters.
I don't want to kill you all, but I feel I owe it to you.
But I will. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Love it.
Fantastic. And we have Tool School back with us today. School, how's it going, my friend?
It is going good. Someone's let me through the door for 29 months. I don't know who did that. If you let me in, I just squat on the couch and move in. And but I am playing Glaz, and Glaz would like to check for baked goods because I am sure that these devils are here because our good friend McLogan did such a lovely little ceremony sacrificing a person down in the cartways that they're just here with some nice bundt cake, maybe some tea to say hello. You know, everyone wants to fight. These could be very nice people delivering some hellish bundt cake for a lovely afternoon tea. That's what I think.
Roll for bundt cake.
Roll for bundt cake. I am a geomancer, and I'm squishy.
Check out my new podcast, Roll for Bundt Cake, on iTunes now. Yeah, amazing, fantastic. I myself, yeah, I'm one squishy bundt cake. I certainly am. Well, Braden actually isn't anymore. He once was, but now he's awesome again. And he's ready to smash some devils one way or another. If there's chains, all the better. Looking forward to it. Before we get started today, I remind you guys of a couple of things. The first of which is, of course, we're sponsored here today by Cobalt Press. You can go over to their website, cobaltpress.com, to check out all the Midgard books and materials that we've been playing with here for the past goodness knows how long. Past, I don't know, half a year maybe it's been since we started playing in Midgard. It seems like a long time at least. So go and check that out over there, yeah. And of course, we're sponsored by fantasygrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice. You can download that for free on Steam. We're playing with it right now. Winnergames.co.uk is a go-to destination for tabletop board games, war games, and more. Last but not least, check out diceenvy.com. They've got a fantastic subscription box. You get dice sent to your house every single month for as low as $5 of mystery dice. So check those guys out. It's a fantastic deal. Of course, go retweet this tweet if you haven't yet to help support the show. And last but not least, you can donate to affect the game as well by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and so much worse. Last mini plug, we're doing a 48-hour stream while I still remember to plug this every day for a GoFundMe that's in my money for our immigration fund. We're doing a K1 fiance visa over to the US, and we're doing a 48-hour stream on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, I think, those 3 dates, and you can sign up to come along and play with us. In fact, everyone in the world is invited to come play RPGs with us on that day. Sign up, get involved, it's going to be a good time. Right, my long list of plugs out of the way, I'm going to hand back over to Dan to remind us what happened last week on the show and how the hell we got up into this predicament without the troublemaker of the party here. How did this even happen?
Yeah. You were sadly not with us. So what happened when last we left?
Cloak usurped Riordan as troublemaker.
Yeah, well, I mean
that's fair.
They're neck and neck, have been the whole campaign. So so I believe we kicked off last week after everyone adjourned from the Strauss Public Bathhouse, where you all kind of recentered yourselves, recharged your batteries, cleansed your bodies and your souls, and sort of reconnected, Riordan at least, with his ex-lover, who was thought dead for these many moons, and lo and behold was alive and was being used as leverage and information against him by his hidden nemesis, the vampire lady Cosinia. After you guys broke apart to go do your separate things, prepare yourselves, you knew that you had the meeting later that night between the Black Shields and the Cloven Nine to try and sort out their bad blood. Cloak found himself off in the cartways, making good on his familial obligations. And for those of you who missed it, you might want to go check that out. It turns out he occasionally has to sacrifice people to the devils of the 11 Hells, and he did that. And it was sad and whimsical and bloody and dark and all sorts of things. Yeah. So worth. So the meeting happened. The various factions, the individuals who were set for the sit down, showed up at the Silk Scabbard. You guys had kind of cleared the area and already set that up as the neutral meeting zone. They all got together. They started hashing out their business. You guys were not really part of the negotiation discussions. You were there mostly just sort of observing, and it seemed like everything was getting off on the right foot. The delegations were really both motivated to get everything squared away. And then one of the Black Shields, acting sort of strange, a little drunk, maybe a little buzzed, a little out of it, he wandered up and was kind of making trouble and disrespecting his captain, Vandesian Thrick, until he went into these strange convulsions of seizure mixed with laughter, and these strange veins started crawling up from under his armor, and he exploded in a shower of gore and hellish fire that blasted Rowan through the air and nearly off the balcony down to the first floor of the Silk Scabbard, because you guys were up on the second floor. So currently, she is clinging to the railing.
At the moment.
Yep, she is clinging to the banister there that she barely managed to catch hold of, and is dangling over the fighting pits where there is a full card this evening. Both of the fighting pits are going in full swing, so the first floor is packed with people. So that is pretty much where we're going to start. As this fellow exploded in his boiling, cooking blood and innards, a temporary rift to hell appeared in swirling brimstone and hellfire, and 3 devils stepped through. One massive 12, 13 feet tall, horned creature of this sort of yellow burnt umber kind of color with these broad wings and a great forked metal spear that was glowing red hot at the tips and a lashing barbed tail, and then 2 almost humanoid looking figures, a male and a female, naked save they are wrapped in these iron barbed and razor bladed chains that wrap around their body, dig into their flesh. Ooh, what was that?
Oh, well, that's nothing good from what I've heard from Architect. Just as you're describing this, thanks so much to Architect Origins Days. Whole 30 pounds, an enemy imbued with 4 magic items attacks. Vampire blade. Oh my god, I'm going to send this all to Dan. God damn it.
Well, we're going to deal with that.
You could have just given us all a nice
deal with that later.
Yeah, to go with it.
Yeah, we're gonna deal with that here in a minute. So
I would like to say some people want to see the world burn, but it's climate change. Climate change is happening. Just let us win. Goodbye.
Yep. So these figures are draped in these razored and barbed iron chains that dig into their flesh and barely serve the needs of modesty. They also have veils of chains that drape down over their faces, and there's just this cacophony of clinking, hissing of the metal links dragging over each other, and the chains actually writhe of their own accord. And that, I believe, is where we left off. So let's all go ahead and roll. Oh, sorry, Cloak. Before we
as soon as I see this, because I know what kind of devils they are, right?
Yes. You recognize at least the type of devils they are.
Can I get an Arcana roll before we roll initiative to see what I know about how they were summoned?
Yeah, go ahead and make me an Intelligence Arcana check. And you don't have fiends as a favorite enemy, do you?
No, I took undead.
Okay, that's right. You took undead. All right, so go ahead and make that Intelligence Arcana check.
22.
Nice. Okay. You have seen a few devilish and demonic summonings. They were never quite what you witnessed here, but there are enough similarities that you can kind of see what's going on. It does not look like a simple summoning spell or a simple conjuration spell that brought them here. It looks like something much more elaborate, probably something planned far in advance, and clearly this was set up beforehand. And you would also guess, given some of the things that were happening to this fellow, it's tied with blood magic. Which you don't have a great handle on, because it's kind of an esoteric art, not heavily known outside of its practitioners.
But the practitioners are, people who worship, are from the Blood Kingdom. I imagine.
Yeah, there are a lot of blood magic practitioners in the Blood Kingdoms of Morgau, Doresh, and now Krakova. So. Down in the Undercroft, in the shrine to Morena, Riodan and Jeniel were sort of basically just kind of reconnecting, talking. It was sort of just like feeling out where they stand and just getting used to the idea that they were, in each other's lives and presence again. You spent most of the day doing that, and then you know that the meeting should be going on upstairs about this time, and so you were making your way up into the Silk Scabbard to go and check on, these yahoos and whatever they were getting up to with a bunch of tieflings and mercenaries. So as you were on
nothing untoward going on with these lot.
Nothing whatsoever. So as you're making your way, kind of pushing your way through the crowd, heading to the stairs, when you hear this god-awful cackling laughter, gasps of alarm and exclamations of surprise, and then you hear that detonation and this blood-curdling scream, and you see Rowan nearly plummet off the rail and barely cling to it. So something just went very, very wrong up there. So we've got initiative roll, I do believe. Yeah.
Turn back around, stay in the basement.
right back into the. All right. So we got anybody 25 to 20.
Me and Tilly.
Okay. Who's got what there? 22 Cloak.
No, 21. No, that was my Arcana. We both have 21, but I'm gonna let her go first.
You both. All right. Okay. So Tilly first.
I'm a gentleman.
21.
It's actually strategy. I don't know how far away you are right now.
Yeah, I would. Can we, before we start pushing any rolls, can you give us a descriptor of where everybody is and how everything is set up at the moment?
Okay, so if you guys remember, there was a round table set up for the meeting. So on one side of the table, there were the three black shields. There was Vandessian Thrick in the middle, and he was flanked by the human woman with short black hair, Kai, and the dark-skinned dwarf with the bearded hair and the short braided hair. Bearded hair? That's Tilly. The braided hair and the short-trimmed beard and mustache with that axe that had the strange, shimmering, ruby-like crystal on it. His name was Stefan. Across the table, you have Valus, the sparkling smiled, long flowing locks, beautiful human that Glaz has detected is actually a tiefling using illusion to disguise himself. And he is attended by a blue-skinned female tiefling named what's her name? Nemea, and a white-skinned, red-eyed male tiefling. His name I left on the other page.
Ooh, I think I got it. Yep.
So they were just sort of shocked as the explosion ripped this poor Black Shield to half-cooked shreds. The table has flipped end over end and crashed against the far wall, and so they're kind of stumbling back in their chairs. Tilly was right up there trying to push the guy away from the table, so she is right in the hellmouth, so to speak. Kind of taking cover behind her shield, facing these demons down, these devils down toe to toe. Cloak is kind of on the other side of where the table was, and he just sort of ducked and the table flew over his head. Glaz, you're sitting at a table kind of like the next table over. So if you imagine that you're kind of diagonal back away from them, so you're looking at the devil's backsides, and you're kind of up against the railing. So not too far away from you, Rowan is clinging to the rail. Does that make sense? All right.
Yep.
So 20 to 15?
15.
Both Rita and I are on 15, but he's got higher deck, so I assume he goes before me.
I'm coming.
So that's sort of up to you guys, however you want to handle it. If you want to go by decks, that's fine. If you want to just pick who goes first, that's also fine.
Yeah. If you want to go first because you're in there, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I figure but I mean, once you're up there, it probably makes sense for you to go first. We can figure it out as we go.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. So we'll go ahead and put Rita in first and then Glass.
Yep.
That'll work for me. Okay. 15 to 10.
Hello.
Hello.
I
What do you got
have
there?
13.
All right. 13 is Rowan.
Devils are fiends, right, guys?
Devils are indeed fiend type creatures.
They are indeed. Hey, Paladin.
You.
Do you need any paladin advice? I happen to know a little bit about being a paladin.
Coach me.
All right. So we got a 10 to 5. Are you guys all on the list now? Have I missed anybody? I think you're all good. You guys all
we're all
vote.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going on 13.
All right. So let me female. There's a lot of NPCs in this immediate vicinity.
Yep, there are. Good luck with that, Dan.
I hope they're strong.
I did it to myself.
I hope they can.
Right.
Can we
So,
list the pit
thankfully-
fighters?
As this was taking place, nobody was surprised. Clearly, the devils were aware that they were about to show up in the midst of carnage, and there was enough warning that, and there's sort of their transition from the lower planes to the face of Midgard robs them of any attempt, any chance at surprising you. Beyond, startling you. So at the top of the order is Kai, the Black Shield woman with dark hair. She, as she's kind of rocking back in her chair, she shifts her weight and actually tips the chair up on one leg and launches herself off the chair toward one of the devils, and before she lands, she has a rapier and a dagger out, and she just goes into this whirling dervish of blade points. She's deflecting chains. She wraps one of the chains around her dagger and launches a flurry of attacks at the devil. Oh, well, natural 1, that's no good. 18, that'll hit. And
She's a natural 20 in my heart. I love her.
Yep. All right, so she doesn't utter any sort of battle cry. She's very light on her feet. She's incredibly quick, and she manages to score a telling cut with her rapier. So she deals a solid strike, but as she draws the blade out of the female chain devil's ribs, you can see this sort of thick, almost black blood kind of ooze out, but then the wound sort of almost seals entirely. It didn't take as much damage from her blade as you might expect it to.
Uh-oh.
So, Tilly, you're up.
Okay. Tilly is going to, feeling threatened by a female presence who is obviously a strong fighter. No, just kidding. Is going to rush over to the female chain demon as well, like keeping her shield in between her and the other two at that moment. But try to do the same, and instead of hitting the chain demon, trying to hit the chain to weigh it down for a minute, just to kind of maybe lock the chain demon in movement, in hopes that she can shout back at Cloak and be like, "Get your little daggers over here, let's go!"
All right. So are you trying to attack it or just kind of bog her down?
I would like to use my hammer to bog her down and maybe like a bash with my shield or something when I'm still in defense, but not too much on the heavy swinging right now.
Okay, so
Cool.
if you're looking to, you said you want to go on defense, so do you want to take the dodge action? Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
you're going in, you're kind of getting in her face, bringing her shield up, and kind of getting in the way of trying to get close to where she can't really get a good swing at you with those chains of hers. So that will work. You go on dodge. Cloak, your turn.
I'm standing next to Tilly, right? Or now?
You were kind of across. Did you go up and were you messing with the guy who was getting ready to explode, or because I know Tilly went up and was trying to put away from the table. Right.
Yeah,
You were kind of
I never got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're like 10 feet away from Tilly.
There's two things I want to say to people. In Sylvan, are people getting out of here currently? Like, everyone's running out of the bar?
So, like, this just happened. So people are sort of like staring up at the second floor with what the hell was that sort of expression on their faces.
Yeah. I'm going to look at Puff Puff and then Sylvan. I was like, help the people out of here. And then I'm going to look at Glaz in common and be like, this is some fucking blood magic. And then I'm going to run up to Tilly, put my hand on her, and I'm like, protection from evil. And then one thing, I don't know, since the spell's in action, can I still make my extra attack?
No, you have to take the attack action.
Okay.
To use to
Okay.
fighting.
So,
or extra attack. Extra attack functions off the attack action.
okay, so I can't make an attack this round. So I'm still going to use Planar Warrior just in case. As like if I get an attack opportunity, I can lash out with that attack. But that's my turn.
Okay, so you run up, and Tilly, you feel his little gnome hand slap the back plate of your armor, and there's a tingle that runs through your skin, and the chain devil that you're kind of getting up in her face, she hisses, and the chain veil covering her face, except for these burning red coal eyes, rattles like rattlesnakes, and she kind of recoils back, and you see her chains kind of lash forward, and then just sort of veer away from you as they get close to your body after he touched you. It's very strange. Cloak, you invoke your Planar Warrior. Your sword kind of flashes for a moment with this blackish red flame-like energy, and the blade becomes sort of that hellfire that you saw creating the rift to the 11 hells that the devil stepped through. All right, Nemea. The blue-skinned tiefling glances over toward Valus, the gorgeous human that was leading the Cloven Nine, and he just sort of stammers out, "Get us out of here!" And she reaches over, casts one sort of nervous glance toward the white-skinned tiefling, whispers a word, and she and Valus, a shimmering sort of outline appears around them, and that outline sort of turns sideways until it's just a line, and as it does, they vanish, and then the line is gone. And they are out.
Damn it.
Riordan.
I'm scratching Valus out of my address book now.
I'd like to take this moment to remind people I'm still hanging from the banister.
Yep.
Okay,
Riordan,
so
your turn.
Riordan runs into the room like Donald Glover in Community. Pizza ready! What the fuck have you been doing in here? And I like get out, throw the pizza away, get out my whip, and just I lash the. When I walk into the room, what's the most obviously evil thing that I see in closest proximity to me?
That
I was gonna say, other than cloak.
So the closest proximity to you is one of these chain draped figures looking like this. The biggest one, a little farther away from you, is the horned monstrosity with the red glowing spear, standing about 15 feet tall with a massive wingspan that's kind of.
I
furled in.
I think that's the most immediate note for Riordan. So I'm gonna.
Okay.
If I'm within 60 feet of it, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I just point it at it and I say nope, and it needs to make a wisdom saving throw. If it's a fiend, it has disadvantage.
Is disadvantage. Ooh, so I will clear its advantage for magic resistance. And it's making a wisdom saving throw?
It surely is.
What's your DC? Well, never mind. That's a natty 1. So I'm guessing a 4 does not succeed. So what are we doing
That
to it?
is not gonna do it. It is frightened for the next minute or until it takes any damage. Speed is 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed.
Oh, wow. All right. So it, what is the spell that you cast?
This is my channel divinity.
Oh, it's your
I am a
channel divinity. Right. Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Which is my new thing.
So you call out a rebuke to this creature, and it hisses and throws its hands up in front of its face as this blood-red light just sort of flares out from Riordan's hand, and it like shrinks down and wraps its wings around itself protectively, and begins cowering. Glaz, your turn.
So we've got. I'm sitting at a table. And if I remember, Glaz was actually sort of mentally watching sort of this go on because he kind of had an idea of casting Identify to see what was affecting this thing. He's like, oh, well, now we know. And this guy.
True.
And so I think, he's kind of nervously always has his diamond out. So he's gonna just test the waters here toward whoever is in front of Tilly. And sort of seems to be going because he's thinking that because Lay Disruption affects every creature and that's not going to be helpful. So yes, he's going to do a targeted attack.
Okay.
It's creature, it's not enemies or it's all creatures inside Lay Disruption.
Yeah, you basically create a localized taffy.
Yeah, it's like Greece, but everywhere.
Yeah.
So so he's gonna do he's just gonna do a level 1 chromatic orb, and he just sort of spins. I think his diamond is close by the table. He just spins it literally on the table, kind of like a dreidel, and unleashes out and. At the Chain Devil, I'm hoping Glaz is going to use some science here and thinking those chains, maybe they're metallic, attacks do electricity, lightning, and do that.
Lightning. Okay, so there's
Let's roll for it.
Bluish white crackle of energy in the diamond, and you sort of pull your hands out, and it expands into this great crackling ball of lightning. You throw your hands forward, and it, with a thunderclap, zaps forward, and you're hitting the one that Tilly's fighting?
Tilly's fighting, the Chain Devil that Tilly's fighting.
Okay. All right, so that was a 20? Yeah, 20 hits. Give me some lightning damage.
That's 3d8 on a level 1. 11. Not too bad.
11. So the lightning discharges into its chains, and she begins to writhe and scream. So it looks like she's taking all of that 11 lightning damage.
Good. Lightning hurts them. He looks around for other spellcasters. Lightning. Oh, damn it.
All right.
And as a bonus action, just to defend himself. No, I'm sorry. That was the first level. That was not a cantrip. Never mind.
Right. Okay. So you're just going to kind of hang back where you are at the moment?
He's going to flip the table up to sort of give himself cover, seeing those chains writhing around. So can he flip the table and duck behind it to sort of like give himself cover? If there's any way I can get the table between myself, Rowan, and the chain devils. So
without using your action, just using your free interact, you can flip it. That's it. You can't really position it. So that'll give you cover. I'm going to flip it. If you can drag it over, or she can come over to it later, then that can work.
Yeah, I'm just going to flip it, and can I just like duck behind it?
Yeah, do you want to basically go prone? If so, you can get total cover from everybody on the other side of it. Or you can kind of crouch and take 3/4.
Glass is going to hit the deck.
Okay. All right.
He's gonna go pro and hit the deck.
All right. So he spins this diamond, sends off this crackling blast of lightning, kicks the table up, and just boom, hits the plank.
Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
All right. So at this point, Puff jumps out from where she was staying. She was kind of back by Glaz at the table where you guys originally were sitting. She didn't follow Cloak up around the meeting table. So Puff runs over to Rowan, hops up on the railing. Remember, she's a pretty big hound. Grabs hold of her robe and drags her back onto the not falling side of the rail. So you kind of dump a little bit unceremoniously onto your haunches. Poof. But you are pulled away from the precipice. Thrick. So at this point, Vandessian Thrick whips a scimitar out of the sheath at his side, and his booming voice just starts to echo out, "Black shields, to me!" And he points at all of you and says, "Flank that one!" And as he starts barking out orders, you all just kind of feel this pep in your step, and you start kind of seamlessly falling into these tactics he's calling out. So you guys are under the effect of the leadership ability, so you can add 1d4 to attack rolls and saving throws.
Nice.
Weeds. I knew I always liked that guy for a reason.
Yep. So that's his action. Rowan, that's your turn. You're muted.
Oh, I was muted the entire time. I was saying how good a girl Puff was.
I can see it in your eye.
Love it. She's a very good girl.
All right, your turn.
So where I'm behind this table now, near Glass.
You're kind of next to the table, but you can move over and take cover behind it easily if you like. Yeah.
Yeah. And where's Riodan? Where's Tilly?
Riodan is coming up the stairs, and Tilly is in the thick of it, mixing it up with a chain devil.
Okay. Shit. I'm gonna cast as my bonus action. I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon and summon the spear of Wotan.
All right, the ghostly spear of Wotan appears within 20 feet of you, I believe, or 60 feet, whatever it is in the range. You have plenty of range to the devils.
Yeah, and she's going to send it flying at the devil that's attacking Tilly.
Okay. So
that still counts as a bonus action, doesn't it? Attacking with it.
Oh yeah. Bonus action, the whole thing. All right. So as you are, yeah, go ahead. Do your thing. Sorry.
Okay.
So make a spell attack.
Yep. I'll make a spell attack. If I can find where that is on here.
Wisdom bonus plus your proficiency bonus.
Yeah. So just my spell attack bonus.
Yep.
Okay.
$14. Oh, but your Thrick begins calling out to sort of basically give you he begins kind of calling out orders to you on how to attack and where to move. So that adds 1d4 to your attack roll. So you can roll a d4 and add it to your 14. 15. Unfortunately, that's just not enough, and the chains sort of lash out and deflect the force spear from striking true. So that was your bonus action. Your actual action?
I'm going to rush over to Ryodan. Ryodan, do you trust me?
Absolutely not.
Good. Okay. I need you to do something. You need to make sure they keep off of me while I do this. And she's going to grab some sort of like war paint out of her bag. It's like kind of crushed pigments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to keep still. And she's going to start tracing the Ingwar's rune on his face.
How long does it take to trace?
2 actions.
2 actions. All right. Got it. So she begins mushing...
Oh, sorry, 2 rounds, yeah.
2 rounds, yeah. Okay. So she begins mushing pigment onto your face and says, hang out here for a second. All right. That was Rowan. The other chain devil turns with a baleful glare. He's going to look at Cloak and lash out at you with just these welter of spiked chains. He kind of swings his arms, and he less swings the chains at you, and it looks like he's more directing them, and they just kind of lash and strike with their own accord. All right, so that makes 2. Nope, stop it. There we go. A 12. 12 is not going to hit you. You just sort of skip nimbly back, and the chain whistles overhead. Its second attack is a 16, which I don't think is good enough to hit you either. All right. Okay. So that is unimpressive for his turn. The female. She touches the chains lashing around her body and screams and shouts something in Infernal. Cloak, you recognize it as you recognize it as an invocation of the Lord of Murder, and the chains on her body, several of them kind of lash up into the ceiling and walls and sprout long barbs and pull away from her and start writhing around like snakes. So she is going to make 4 chain attacks with those.
God, Kosh is going to kick
be
us out.
At disadvantage because she's lashing at Tilly, who is dodging. That dropped the nat 20, so that one doesn't hit. Second attack, no good. She is going to get frustrated at this point and lash at Kai without disadvantage, so I'm gonna redo that. And that one. My dice are awesome tonight, guys. All right, so she hits her with the last one. The blade wraps Kai up, and the chain snakes around her body and begins tightening, and you can see those blades and barbs digging into her flesh. She takes 13 points of slashing damage. The Horned Devil is going to be next. So it is cowering in fear. Its speed is reduced to 0, I do believe. That's correct, Ryodan?
That is correct.
All right. So he is going to be upset about that, but not be able to say much about it at the moment. Yeah. He is going to lash out with his fork. 14. That is not going to be enough. Another with its fork. 14 again, and with its tail.
Oh yeah, so it has disadvantage on attack rolls. Well, it's frightened. Yeah.
Yep, it's getting disadvantage as hail. All right, the final one does actually manage to connect with the tail. So it lashes its tail into Kai. So she takes 10 points of piercing damage, and she has to make a Constitution saving throw. Oof, which she rolls a nat 1 on. My dice are continuing to be super friggin' sweet. So the tail impales her through the gut, and you can see that barbed stinger kind of dig deep and then rip out, and she begins to just pour blood out of this wound in her stomach. All right, so Zephyrin, the dwarf, sort of stumbles back, holds up his axe, points at the horned devil, and begins to chant. And as he does, the horned devil kind of shrinks back every time he pronounces one of these words. He holds his axe up, and you can see the axe blade is silvered. And the horned devil starts thrashing and lashing against the power of Morena that's holding him in place. He has to make a saving throw with advantage because he has magic resistance. All right. So for a moment, you can see the edges of space around him begin to lens and warp and sort of crush in on him. And as it does, you can see he shrinks and twists, almost like the world is trying to push him out. And he screams, and you feel this psychic, telepathic bellow of rage rip through your minds, as well as his voice, and it shakes the banishment spell off. All right. This is out of here. Lucis casts you, kind of shoots you all an apologetic look, shrugs, and speaks a word and vanishes. Like the other tieflings.
See ya.
All right. Kai, so she is restrained at the start of... Yeah. At the start of her turn, she is going to take... just a hell of a lot of damage. So she takes 7 points of slashing damage, piercing damage, and 10 points of bleeding damage. So she takes 17 points of damage from the chains sort of tightening around her and slicing into her flesh, and this just fountain of blood pouring out of her gut. She is not looking good. All right. She is going to attempt to... Man, what's she going to do? I think she's going to try and get out of this. Nah, there's no point. That's her. That's going to be her. She's just going to attack and suck up the disadvantage. So she's going to attack 3 times. Oof, no good. Oh, that's a 2. That's going to miss anyway. So she just can't bring her rapier and dagger to bear as this female chain devil twists her hand, and you watch these chains begin to twist and squeeze her and sort of suspend her in the middle of the... It kind of lifts her off her feet between this chain that's sunk into the ceiling and the floor, wrapping around her, pulling her up. It's kind of Hellraiser-y in here at the moment. Tilly, your turn.
Okay, Tilly, can I ask you a question, Dan? Do you mind?
Yeah.
So in the action of loosening the chains off her body and sending them about to do their things, are they unwrapping from her torso?
So, yes, but at the same time, it seems like there's just more chains. So it doesn't look like it's lessened.
Not like revealing any sort of like armor, essentially, kind of thing is what I was asking.
No, it makes it a little bit more risque. She's basically got barbed chain nipple straps, and that's about it wrapped around her torso right now. But they just keep lashing around. It doesn't look like it's revealed a more vulnerable area. So as you're kind of turning your attention to her, she looks at you. The chains veiling her face rattle and slither and then blow apart. And underneath the chain veil, you see your mother's face. And it's streaked with tears. And she says, "Tilly, why?" And you need to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh
no.
The D4. Remember that. Oh, and also protection from good and evil.
I'm your mom now, bitch.
Is this a charm, frighten, or possession?
It's frightened, so she can't be frightened.
The target cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
All right, so
Under protection of good and evil.
While it is unnerving, you feel that warm tingle pass along your skin, and you smell this whiff of jasmine blossom, and whatever it was trying to do to you just sort of rolls off your back.
Oh yeah, while her chains are split, Tilly spits right in her face. You're not my mom, and then swings her hammer to hit her right in the side.
Get her.
And then
My real mom.
nobody else sees it, so everybody's like, why is she saying it's her mom? Quick question. I need to make sure my roll is going to be right. I have a 1d20 attack plus a 1d4 on my attack with its leadership, correct? Plus 8 for proficiency and plus 5 for strength, if I'm correct.
Correct. No. It's plus 8 total. Five
Oh yeah,
strength.
okay, yeah. I had it written down and I had an unsaved document. I was like, this is way more than I expected. Okay.
D20, D4 plus 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll get her.
Sweet.
Smash her face.
1d8. And she's gonna end up doing the same old attack again for a second swing, so.
Yep.
For damage for that guy.
Oof.
And then the same old attack again. I still keep the proficiency or the advantage with the d4. Am I right? Okay.
Yep. Ooh, no good. All right, so the first one catches her full in the face, and you hear kind of a crack, and then as she looks back at you, you can see the bone sort of pop back into place. She takes reduced damage from your weapon strike. The second one, she lashes up a chain that deflects it, so you can make your shield bash as a bonus action if you like.
Sure. All right. Is that another just d20 plus 8? Am I correct? Same plus d4?
Yep, same deal. Yep.
Cool. Black. No, whoa, wow.
That'll get her. Yep, 18 will hit.
Cool. She's aiming for the same hit in their face, trying to re-break the bones. Just
D4 plus 5 on this one.
okay. I type. I'm great at typing.
8. All right. So as you bash her with the silver-plated, the silver embossed shield, it shimmers with this bright sort of inner glow, and she shrieks as the silver sears her flesh. She takes full damage from that shield bash.
She screams in my face. I still shout at her, but it still stinks. Point it the other way. And then
Nice.
goes for another blow from something else.
That was Tilly. So I believe that's your turn, unless you want to move. Okay, Cloak.
Actually, can I position myself in between her and Kai? Can I just slide over to try to see if I can?
Kai was kind of in melee with her, so not really.
Okay, I didn't know if the lift was like pushing her away or not, but that's okay.
But it's also kind of anchoring her. So yeah, not
Okay.
really.
Sure.
All right, Cloak, your turn.
So Kai is just fucked.
I mean, yeah. Maybe. Well, you kind of checked the 22, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you know what happened with that stinger. She's been dealt an infernal wound, and she is going to continue to bleed profusely until it's staunched, or until she receives some sort of magical healing.
Okay. So as I position myself into as like the chain devil's like falling back from like Tilly's attack, at the same time Cloak is like maneuvered around her to the back, and he's like thrusting his like short sword, and he's looking at the guy, the dwarf, and he's should be killing, and then like looks at Kai as he's like making this attack as well.
All right, as you're doing this, please make me a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw as the male chain devil looks at you, tilts his head, and his veil parts, and you see the slack-jawed, befuddled gaze of the dwarf that you just sacrificed to the 11 hells. And he looks at you and says, "You'll join me soon, gnome."
1 second.
I mean, that's not even a nightmare just there. That's probably the truth.
Gnomes get something for wisdom saves, don't they?
On spells and other magical effects, you have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. So, let me see if this is magical. When a change devils he starts his turn within 30 feet of the illusion looks like when it's part of loved ones or bitter enemies can see the devil. It must succeed. This is not considered magical, so your gnome cunning doesn't count for this. It's just a natural. It can do
12.
Add a d4.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Well, Vandessian.
Fellows out. Hold the line, clerks. Don't listen to it. But to no avail. It unnerves you, so you're frightened until the end of your turn. So you can still attack, but you have to do so with disadvantage.
Okay. Where's my
the rest of you, every time this happens and those sort of weird effects from the chain devils are happening, only the person it's glaring at and affecting sees whatever that illusion is. You guys just see this weird like undulation happening in the veil.
Gotcha. 16, wait, plus a d4. Hold on.
16 will get it. Yep, 16 gets it. Even with disadvantage. You miss with the first strike. You manage to push through the fear clenching at your gut, and you drive your hellfire forged blade into this creature's innards.
I do 10 damage, force damage.
Force damage, right.
As like...
Female, right?
Yeah, I'm helping Tilly tag team it. And so as I drive my sword into it, I'm like shutting my eyes. And I'm like, you're not real, you're not real, you're not real. And she's just like trying to jab.
Tilly's like, do you show it to your mom too? Yeah.
All right, so that's your turn, Cloak, I think?
Yeah, I moved. Yeah,
right.
That's my turn.
Riodan, your turn. Rowan is still painting your face.
I will try and stand still while she does that.
All right, is there anything you'd like to do in the meantime?
I think my tentacles are at 15 feet.
Let me see how far away you are from the action at this point. Oh, you're a good... well, let's see, you got up.
It's 15 feet of you, yes.
Yeah, you're about 30 feet away from the action.
Is Rowan wounded?
If you move forward, she could always maybe just follow you to wherever you end up.
Yeah.
Okay.
She could just climb up on your back and just trace it.
Just piggyback it. Did Rowan take damage on that? On when she got pushed across the room?
No, it was mostly just force. There was no actual damage to it. All right, so you move forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna move forward. Finish this later. Next round.
I'm finishing it right now.
I'm moving 15 feet up. I like the idea that we're moving like because D&D is like we take a turn,
shuffling together.
Shuffling together, like 15 feet towards the action. I like turn my head so she can paint this way.
Come on! Yeah.
Get your face coat on. And
skip the highlights.
I said skip the highlights. And then you're gonna hear me say this once. I'm gonna use my tentacle attack 3 times on the nearest devil I can reach.
The nearest devil you can reach is going to be the female chain devil that everybody's sort of clumping up on.
Yeah, that breaks spell. Okay, let's do that. And I get 3 attacks, which is a 16, a 21,
hit,
and a 16.
Ooh, and hit. So I believe she needs to make herself a Constitution saving throw.
Yes, I believe it's Constitution. Let me make sure there we go. It is a Constitution saving throw, DC 15.
Even with magic resistance helping out, she only ends up with a 9. So what does that do to her again?
The creature's speed is halved, it has disadvantage on dex saving throws, and it can't use reactions for 1 minute. Moreover, on each of its turns, it can take either an action or a bonus action, but not both. And at the end of each turns, it takes a saving throw.
Okay, all right. So
she takes 11 damage.
Right, Ryoden strides forward, kind of fussing with getting his face painted, lashes out with this this blood-thorn scourge. These long tendrils lashing blood pour out of the leather handle and strike around the creature's neck and both of her arms and kind of wrench her down to one knee. And they tighten and they grow barbs and start to cut into her flesh. All right. That was Ryoden. Glaz.
Okay, so Glaz is going to pop up, and seeing these chains, I mean, I'm sort of imagining these chains have sort of like locked into the ceiling and are dangling and attacking people.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a line of either a couple chains and this female devil, or the male and the female chain devil, or I'm trying to get, Glaz is going to try to do some, he's going to try to do some lining up. I think seeing the wings pulled in around the horn devil, I think he's smart enough, he'd figure out that that's someone who, there's some effect happening there that he doesn't want to mess with, but I'd love to get a line to try to get either both chain devils or a chain devil and a lot of those chains.
So I think to get both chain devils, you're going to risk hitting some of your compadres because they're clumped up around each other.
Totally understand that they're all in melee.
You could definitely get 2 of the animated chains and 1 of the chain devils.
Okay, I will go for 2 of the animated chains and 1 of the chain devils, preferably the female one, but I understand that everyone's kind of clumped up around her. If I need to get the male one, I can do that.
Okay. So let's see. We've got 3 people clumped up around the female chain devil. It's probably going to have to be the male at this point.
Okay.
Otherwise,
so we'll do the male and a couple of the chains, and he's going to drop that lay energy bolt. So he reaches down, and even though we're up on the 2nd floor, is able to sort of reach the power of the ley lines and drag it up, and then just shoot it out in front of you.
So he holds out his hand. He holds out his hand, palm down, and there is a piercing column of blue-white light that lances up through the floorboards into his hand. He kind of grabs that energy and then thrusts it forward in this crackling incandescent bolt. And so we need to make some saving throws? Is that correct?
Dex saves. This isn't the one, though, that is disadvantaged, right? It was the female who got disadvantaged. From the scourges.
Yeah.
The scourges was that the male or the female?
Yeah. That was the female.
Okay, and I would hit them if I went for. So it's Dex.
I don't think objects get saving throws, so we'll just go ahead and have those chains take some damage.
Okay.
And the male.
Just a little bit of damage.
16 is what he's got for his saving throw.
It saves, so he still takes half damage, but he does do 5d8.
Oof.
Better than no damage.
Oh wow, good roll too. So 29 points of force damage go shooting across the room, and hopefully get rid of some of those chains.
All right. 2 of the chains are shattered into blackened iron shards, and they just kind of rain down from the ceiling and just scatter with this musical, cacophonous tinkling sound all over the tables and the floor. The devil kind of twists out of the way and just kind of takes a glancing blow across its chest and shoulder. That's still a fairly hefty amount of damage. That's still 14 points of damage. He's not happy about that.
So I can. Never mind. I already answered my question. Never mind. That's
okay.
it. He flattens back down behind the table.
Right. So
actually, you don't even did with the dragon.
You don't even have to pop up if you don't want to, because you can throw the lay bolt through the table.
Oh, that's right. I can. Yeah, he throws it right through the table.
All right, so Puff Puff is going to vanish in a shower of glittering metallic sparkles, reappear down on the 1st floor where screams have erupted from the patrons, and she starts kind of grabbing people by the hems and cuffs of their shirts and coats, and starts pulling them toward the door. Rick.
Good girl, I
Frick
love
is going
you.
to move up and engage the horned devil. Brave bastard that he is.
Oh, Thrick. We hardly knew ye.
Ugh, no good.
Ooh.
My dice continue to be garbo.
Rip Thrick.
All right.
I believe you're muted, Dan. We haven't heard anything after.
Yeah, Dan,
Or-
you're muted.
Dan!
Speaking-
Dan,
Dan!
yeah, sometimes I wonder if he's
Maybe his
I
not
think
here
your
as
headset
well.
might have died.
maybe he's already just
Oh,
or
crashed.
he just doesn't listen to us anyway.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
the
think he
DM
was
now.
dying.
So intermission time. This is
Or he's
great.
really, really, really
Everyone
focused on his
is-
stats right now.
Really
Everyone is
focused on the
level
stats.
20 now.
Dude, like whenever I run a combat, like I just do what Dan does and just.
So what you were
what-
saying was they left and we
Right, they
just
got-
won.
and
Oh,
everybody wins. Right.
And we leveled up.
So what was the last thing
They're
you
level
actually heard?
20 now.
That pretty
my
much know his
dice are
failed
terrible.
roll, the 5, and that was it.
Okay,
Yeah, Frick
his second
failing rolls.
his second strike unfortunately does not connect either, as the devil just sort of steps back out of the way, and that's going to be Rowan's turn.
Okay, she's just climbing in Riodan's face still and just hold still. Okay, it's almost done.
All right.
Okay, and she's just going to making that last stroke of diamonds that forms the ingwas across his face. Just
Yep.
say, Wotan, give this boy your strength. May he strike down these enemies. And okay, the magic works now because that's 2 rounds. So,
Yep.
Riodan, you have the benefits of Barbarian's Rage now.
Holy crap!
Jesus.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
go to
so,
Berserker, man.
All right, so,
And so
you
she-
feel, you feel the fury of a god begin to flow through your mind and soul, and fly into a full blown berserker rage.
And Rowan
So-
just slaps his ass and says, "Go get him."
Go get him, champ! All right.
And as my bonus action, going to just attack with the spiritual weapon as well.
Yep. Go right ahead.
Please be better. No, that's worse.
No, unfortunately not. She manages to, she sort of catches it with one of her chains and pushes it away. So it is going to be the male chain devil's turn. He is going to pull that same bullshit that his counterpart just did, and hisses under his breath, and the chains around him begin to slither and fire off into the wood, break free of his body, and start lashing around. And he kind of pulls his hand around into a fist and then points the clenched fist at Cloak. And 4 of these chains begin lashing at you, Cloak.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's another damn natural 1. Holy crap, people. There's a critical hit, though. So, miss, critical hit. That is going to be a 20. Dirty 20. I think that hits you, right?
Yeah.
And the third one, that's a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, so that's a critical and 2 normal hits.
Oh, actually, it's not a
So-
critical because of my armor.
Your armor, right? You hear a god-awful screeching as the chain lashes out, slices through Cloak's tunic, and you see this chain shirt hidden beneath his clothes. That's of these tightly forged and kind of like thick and flattened links of this black metal flecked with silver, and the chains just can't seem to find purchase and bite through it, and that negates the critical hit because of your adamantine armor. All right.
Nice.
4. So that's 11 slashing damage, and 14 slashing damage. And you are restrained as the tendril, the chains wrap around you.
Oh, I don't get a save? God damn it.
Nope. You are grappled and restrained.
All right. I'm trying to. That was 25 damage.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, no, that was the wrong thing. I'm at. Okay.
Okay. The female chain devil is going to make a bunch of attacks at Tilly that are going to have to contend with just so many different sources of disadvantage that it's really not even funny. Although Cloak, I do need you to make a concentration saving throw. So a Constitution save.
Right.
I went to go
Protection of
grab
good
a
and
dice.
evil.
Oh, no.
Nope. 3's no good. So unfortunately, the protection that was crackling over your skin, Tilly, sparks and fades as Cloak takes some punishing wounds from the devil. So you're going to be hit once, missed. Ooh, missed again. Just flailing chains lashing around your shield, desperately trying to get a hold of you. But can't do it. All right, 2 of the chain attacks do manage to pierce your guard. One wraps around your ankle, and the other lashes across your ribs. You're going to take a total of 22 points of slashing damage, and you're wrapped up and restrained by the chains.
Perfect.
That's not
Horned Devil.
what you normally say to being restrained, but okay.
The Horned Devil. How long is that that rebuke against the Horned Devil, Will? Was it just the 1 round?
1 minute until damage.
It is 1 minute.
Oh, a
until
minute.
damage.
A minute. Oh, God.
Yeah, or damage.
All right. So he is going to. He sort of points his forked spear at you and hisses, and you can see he's still kind of shrinking back from you as this ruby light is lashing at him from just kind of shining out from you. And he grips the iron haft of his spear, and those red hot tips suddenly flare white hot, and they start firing bolts of searing flame towards you. So he's going to make some attacks with disadvantage. Wow.
Ooh.
That'll be, so that'll be a hit. 1 hit. Second bolt. No. That one will be no good. And he has a third one as well. Nope. All right, so one of the bolts manages to connect, and you feel a searing pain as this molten metal stream burns into your flesh. So you take 11 points of fire damage. And you are not a flammable object that isn't being worn or carried, so you don't catch fire. All good. All right, Zephyrin. The dark-skinned dwarf Black Shield is going to look with no small amount of fear at that horned devil, and not be too sure what he can do about it at this point. But he is going to, he is going to not cast Fireball because they're devils, and that won't work. He is going to reach out. He begins chanting softly under his breath, points his axe toward the grievously wounded female chain devil, and bolts of red energy begin firing out of the ruby attached to his axe and just lancing into her.
So that's what it does.
Come on.
Magic missile, come on.
Fantasy Queen.
Auto hits are looking like a magic missile.
All right, so she takes 14 points of force damage as these little bolts of pure magical energy rip through her chains and into her body. And she is now sort of slumped in these chains that are now kind of holding her up, and she's bleeding profusely, this blood that's so dark red it's almost black, and as it hits the wood, it begins to sizzle and char. All right, so that was Zephyrin.
Apologize to Kasha for this.
Yeah, well, that's a thing. 14.
Yeah, who do we want?
Yep. So she's in bad shape. Kai, speaking of bad shape, Kai takes another 17 points of ongoing damage, and you can see that her face is now deathly pale, and the weight of her weapons is starting to drag her limbs down, and her eyelids are like fluttering. Not looking good there. She is going to desperately try to get out of these chains. Because, that's not good. So she's going to try and make a dexterity acrobatics check to slip free, which she does. So she kind of takes a deep breath and desperately just starts to wriggle and slip, and she drops to the floor. And as soon as she hits the boards of the deck, she bounds up onto the balls of her feet, and with a startling agility darts through the chains, avoiding all of the devil's attempts to lash out at her, and gets the hell out of there. She disengages as a bonus action and gets out. So she is still bleeding horribly from that sting wound from the horned devil in her gut, however. So that was Kai. Tilly, your turn.
Okay, so Tilly, it's around my ankle, and where was the other location of the chain?
Kind of
around my waist, right?
Around, yeah, around your waist. Yep.
So arms being free, she's gonna swing at this girl. She's slumping, she's down. Let's take her out. Let's do this. So
Okay,
with full
so
on rage, she goes after it. What?
You are restrained, but you can still attack, but you have disadvantage on attack rolls.
That's fine, and we have no more leadership, correct?
Nope, leadership's still going.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yep.
All
this time, Vandesian's booming voice is just cutting through the din of battle.
Got it.
Go Vandesian!
He's the hero. He's the hero we need.
I'm just gonna toss out twice, and we'll just see whatever
that's fine.
happens. Ah, that 20 dough. Oh.
The 20 get bounced.
It takes a 7, yeah.
Let's see.
16 hits though. Yeah.
16 doesn't. Oh, you're hitting the chain devil. Yeah. No. Those all hit. Yep. Both of those hit.
Well, that's my first of my two disadvantage hits. So this is 16 takes, and I guess this one will be the second
I see. I see what you're doing. Got it. Yep. So do your second hammer strike.
Right, damage for the first one.
Ooh, max damage.
And then
13 cuts to 6.
Oof. Can I just toss them both out and be like,
yep.
whee?
Nope. All right, so shield bash.
Yeah. Same with disadvantage. I'm so sorry I'm like hopping and possing this, guys. It's easier.
Oh no, you're okay.
And boop.
Oh damn. That'll cool. Yeah, so you catch her, you bash the rim of the shield up under her jaw.
She says, eat it! Put it in your mouth! And then she tosses damage.
7 unresisted damage. Once again, the silver sears into her flesh, and you can see one of the chains actually breaks and falls to your feet. One of the strands of her veil. Yeah, she is not looking good.
Gritting
Cloak,
between her
your
teeth.
turn.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Okay, do I take damage at the start of my turn?
You do, yes. You take 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Well, I have to do math. Okay. At that point, when he takes that piercing damage, he's like, oh! and like coughs up blood. Okay. And then, question: am I able to attack my way out of this?
You could attack the chains. They're made of some sort of infernally animated iron or steel. So, I'm gonna use my planar warrior to attack with the first one. Attacking the chain or the devil?
The chain. This thing's killing me. So okay. I need to.
You could also make a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check to try and slip out of it or force your way out. But that takes your action.
I think I might be, because I'm not good at either of those. I might be better trying to attack my way out of it.
Depends. Yeah,
I'm gonna
depends.
try.
All right.
At least I'm gonna try this turn and see what happens.
Okay.
So, can I make a normal attack, or am I still frightened?
You are restrained, so you suffer disadvantage on attack rolls.
Okay. Let's do this. 8.
Eight's not going to do it. Skates off the iron harmlessly.
Oh wait, hold on. For the first one, that'd be a 20. No, not 20. I'm sorry. 11.
11.
Yeah, no good.
And then the next one is 14.
Now, just sparks fly, and there's this ringing hiss as your blade sort of scatters off the infernal metal.
1 second. There is something else. I have to read something.
Yeah.
Damn it! No, I fucked up.
Uh-oh.
I have Misty Step.
Which
I
you
forget about it.
Which is a bonus action.
Oh, it is! I Misty Step the fuck out of there.
All right. Cloak desperately hacking at this chain that's grinding into him and cutting into him, and he's starting to bleed from the barbs and razors. Just us! Kind of in the middle of that, whispers a word in Sylvan and just vanishes in this swirl of silvery mist and these half green, half brown and dried leaves that appear out of nowhere. So where would you like to go? You can go to any unoccupied space within 30 feet that you can see.
I am going to get 30 feet away from the fight. Is there a place where I can get behind a table? Yeah, with glass.
There's a nice table right over here with glass.
Yep.
And appear next to glass. I'm like, holy shit!
Right?
All right, yeah. So he appears in a puff of mist and dried leaves, and just kind of collapses down behind the barricade next to you. That was Cloak. Riodan, your turn, sir.
Oh boy. Well, now that I'm super angry at everything, I'm going to hit all of the things.
And Rowan's giving you a nice slap to get you started. Giddy up. Go.
Yeah.
So to get the benefits of the rage damage and to be able to smite, you have to use the thing as an actual weapon. You can't direct it to do the
so I can't use
tendril
my
thing.
tentacle attack. I have to use my
Right. You'll have to.
lash.
You have to use
Let's do that.
Get some.
Let's do that. Slash at it.
Man, you're resistant to magic.
14.
Add a D4 from Vandessian's orders. Move in, Riodan. 15 won't quite do it, but you have extra attack. So make your second attack, sir.
There it is.
That'll be a nat 20. So go ahead. And give me some
double
freaking
sixes,
damage.
baby.
Look at that.
Plus the 2.
Are you going to give it so plus 2 is 17? Are you giving it any divine smites?
To smite.
Let's put the smite in there. There's still got another
All
one,
right, so that throws 2d8 for a first level spell slot plus a bonus d8 because this is a fiend.
Fiend.
Oh my god. So much
Just
damage.
look at that.
16. So that'll be
30.
17
31.
piercing damage plus 16 radiant. So it's actually 33 because of the plus 2 rage damage in there. That's
right.
not calculated. So Riodan goes in bellowing, and there's a little bit of bloody foam at the corner of his mouth, and just starts striking with this blood lash, this 3-tailed scourge. And she sort of desperately throws her arm up to block the first strike, and it flays her arm down to the bone, and you can see her bones are blackened and they catch fire when they hit the air. And you see her red coal-like eyes go wide as you bring the lash down straight at her head, and this burst of crimson light flows down your arm along these writhing tendrils and slices her in two. She screams and it's cut off suddenly and just falls backward into ash and chains.
Good point, but I think it was
Destroyed.
way overkill. You actually double those smite damage on a nat 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was already dead.
She had 19 hit points left. The smite is what killed her, though. So,
Yeah.
A question.
All right,
So the
Mike.
chains she had active, do they fall down?
oh hell yes.
Okay.
Yep, you are no longer restrained.
Oh no, I was already the fuck out of there.
Oh yeah.
I'm not anymore though.
Yeah, Tilly is no longer restrained.
Ted is like, I knew I liked you. Great job, let's go. Just like goes across with their shield up.
Don't
That
say
horn
Auntie Rowan
devil.
never does anything for you.
Is going to attack.
Straight to my head.
See, you've moved up. That horn devil is going to attack Riodan. So he's going to jab at you with his fork twice, with the disadvantage because he's still afeared of you. Damn it. That's a 14, no good. Second jab with a fork. 15, also no good. And a strike with the dreaded tail. 13. So there's you lash 2 spear strokes out of the way, and then just kind of turn your pauldron, your plate armor pauldron, and the stinger deflects off of it. Ka-chow! Zephyrin. He is going to turn his attention to the other chain devil. Yep.
I think he skipped me because I'm on 15 as well with Riodan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep. Totally did.
So yeah, Glaz was a little stunned by the whole thing, so the Horn Devil went ahead and went. But quick question: with to interact with an object is like a free action, right? Okay, for me to hand Cloak a healing potion, is that bonus action, free action, or action?
So you
not
can
to feed
draw
it
the
to him,
healing-
just be like, here.
Right. So you can draw the healing potion and just kind of like set it next to him, and he can pick it up on his turn.
Yeah, you look like shit, and put it down next to him, and and I'm gonna pop up, and being emboldened by Vandesian, I am going to pop up, and I'm going to do a level 3 chromatic orb at this male chain devil.
Chain devil. All right.
Yeah, the male one.
Make me a spell attack roll.
Yep, that is a +6, and then a plus D4 if it's bad. 17,
That'll
I think,
hit.
will hit. Yeah. So
That'll hit indeed.
yeah. So again, lightning. I'm going to do lightning, and it is 5d8.
Gimme.
26 lightning
Ouch.
damage. Don't hurt my friend.
All right. He does not care for that. He goes into convulsions, and some of his chains just sort of go limp and writhe.
I look to Cloak. See, because the chains are metal, so see the lightning. It works very well on them, and it zips all around.
I know this.
All right, Glad.
Drink your bullshit.
He doesn't go to the library.
Thrick calls out, "We have them now. They're on the ropes."
With those ropes?
Ooh, he will hit the Horn Devil once and a second time, so he will slice him twice. So his blade appears to be made of sterner stuff than most of the other weapons floating around. As he strikes through the air, you can see that there's a shimmer, and you can hear the metal sort of sing, and it slashes through the scales and muscle of the Horn Devil and deals full damage. So apparently he's packing a magic weapon. The devil howls in rage, and you can see it's the flame and light in its eyes flare as it finally shakes off the gripping terror and rebuke that Riodan had placed on it. All right. Thrick. Rowan.
Well, how's the Horn Devil looking?
It has just been hurt now. Other than that, it looks pissed.
Okay.
Damage, yeah.
And I
it's
totally
not
had it go
afraid anymore.
way out of turn. That was my bad. I skipped the entire fight.
Okay. I'm going to make a ranged attack against it for a level 3 guiding bolt.
All right.
Let's hope this actually hits. Plus
a
my
D4.
4, right?
Yeah,
Yep, plus
60
D4.
Yeah. Ooh.
18 hits.
18?
Yep.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, let me check how many
Alright.
how many
What level was it?
D6. It was
it's D8.
a third level, so
No, D6.
it's,
Third level.
66.
Guiding bolt.
5d6. 5d6.
It's
It's
one spell.
Right, but it's 1d6 extra for every level, so 3, 4, 5. Right. So, does it start at 4?
It
Yeah,
starts
it's
at 4.
4.
Oh,
Four.
okay. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Yep. 6
5,
dice.
6.
Do it. Woo! 20 radiant damage.
Nice.
But I'm gonna juice that up a bit with
Oh.
an extra 6 necrotic, please.
All right. So Rowan casts out. She gathers this this bolt of radiant light, fires it toward the devil, and strikes him just full in his torso. And as she does, she like clacks her beak and twists her fingers. And for a second, her outline does that weird, translucent, washed-out, ghostly thing. And you can see the devil shudder as a little bit of its life essence leaks out. So how much extra necrotic was that? 6?
6. Equal
All
to
right.
my level. And as my bonus action,
Yeah.
gonna go back in with that
Going back in with the spear.
ghostly spear.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's going to be no
I
good,
don't think-
unfortunately.
Yeah. Just
All right.
looking at the spear with
Right.
disdain. Wotan, why won't you?
The Chain Devil. He is going to turn his attention. Ooh. He is going to charge toward the barricade where Glaz is hiding.
Yeah, the feeling that was going to happen.
Unfortunately, his animated chains can't reach you all the way over there.
Knock
But-
some out.
Unfortunately.
He can use those against Riodan. So he's going to make 2 of his own chain attacks against Glaz. Ooh, that was almost a 20. So that's going to be a 22 to hit you.
we still have cover?
Yeah, Glaz can't do anything about that.
He's coming around cover.
Oh, okay.
And then a 19.
A
Wizard's
19 hits as well.
All right. All right, so that's going to be 2 hits. So you take a total of 22 points of slashing damage, and you are wrapped and restrained by the chains.
Oh, do them. Okay.
So, and then I'm going to make 4 animated chain attacks against Riodan. Good lord. Whatever the hell's going on over there has to stop. Miss. 18. I believe an 18 is going to hit you, yes?
It is, yeah. That's gonna
All right, so that's 1 hit.
kind
A
of
16 doesn't manage it. All right, it's piercing, and I don't believe it's magical, so you'll have resistance to this. Sorry, slashing. All right, so you take 22 reduced to 11 points of slashing damage, Riodan, and you are restrained. All hell razored up. You manage to shrug off the worst of the damage. You just don't even feel the pain with this rage pounding in your temples. So I'm actually going to take the Horned Devil's turn with not horrible disadvantage, like a jerk.
Oh, darn it.
Yep.
This is when it gets ugly.
So, nope, because I'm going to roll a 2. That's fine. And a 1. Holy you lucky mother.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. All right, Riodan, you are stabbed by the lashing tail of the Horned Devil. So I need to make you. I need you to have me make me a DC 17 Constitution saving throw, please.
14.
All right, so that fails. So you take 13 points of piercing damage, reduced to 6. And you begin to bleed profusely. You can just feel your pulse firing jets of your blood out of this wound that the stinger just tore in your bicep. All right, Zephyrin. Zephyrin is going to Is going to magic missile the other chain devil, I think. Ooh, good roll.
Damn.
Nice.
That is 19 points of force damage as he swings the axe, slices the air, and this volley of spinning red sparks slices into the devil. All right, that chain devil is now bloodied. One of its arms is hanging sort of limply in its socket as the force damage blows it out of joint. Kai. Oh boy. She is going to take some bleed damage.
Oh no.
Ooh. She drops to her knees and she is gasping, and you can hear a little bit of a whimpering whine with every puff of breath that passes through her clenched teeth. But she is not quite out. She is going to try desperately to staunch the flow of blood. How's her wisdom look? Yeah, not super great.
On a scale of 1
But she's gonna roll in that 20. So she doesn't panic, reaches into a pouch behind her back, pulls out some bandages and like some kind of strange poultice, cracks it and just packs it into the wound. And you can see the pouring blood start to slow to a trickle.
Odessian taught her right.
She has
I
6
love
hit
this
points
woman.
left. Yikes. All right, so that was Kai. Tilly.
Tilly's saying, oh, I'm sorry, I just screamed earlier. I didn't realize my mic was open. Pardon my excitement.
That's okay.
Tilly is going to bolt across the floor and just take one strong hammer and a shield attack against the chain demon who has her friends in a tie right now.
All right. So a great charging comet of steel and beard and hammer comes thundering across the balcony towards you, Glaz.
Yeah.
We're still under leadership, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
Oh, that'll hit. That'll hit
Right.
indeed.
First. And then
So that'll be 4 bludgeoning damage.
and this is the shield.
A 14. Yeah. Did you do 2 hammer attacks?
No, I did one hammer and one shield because I figured the movement across would be one of my actions.
Nope, you're close
Nope.
enough. You can get there, and you can make both your attacks with your action. So you make another hammer attack. So the shield attack's going to miss. The hammer attack will hit. The first one hits.
Okay, cool.
Make another
Alright.
hammer attack.
Yeah. Pasta
Oh, that'll hit.
and sauce.
Jeez. 5.
She's just
All right,
like
so he,
slamming into this guy's
he
back.
He is battered forward and kind of slumps over the jutting leg of the table that you flipped over, Glaz. As Tilly literally hammers into his back, you hear chains crunching and bones popping. Cloak, your turn.
Question.
Yes.
Would it be... there's 2 things I want to do, and I don't know if I can do it in one turn. I want to throw the potion Glaz put down to Kai. But then I want to jump up on Glaz and start pulling on the chains to help him get out.
I will let you basically kick it over towards her. You won't have a huge amount of control unless you want to if you're gonna basically take the help action to try and, or you could make a strength athletics check to try and pull him out of the chains.
Okay, I will do that. And can I just kick it in her direction? And I'm
You
like,
can kick it in her
"There,
direction. Go ahead and make me a dexterity check with no proficiency bonus, just to see how well that goes.
Straight up dexterity. Oh, 19.
Hey, that's a 19. All right, so it goes skittering across the floor. You actually manage to chip it over a chair that's in the way, and it tink clink, and rolls to a stop right next to her knee. So go ahead and try to pull Glaz out of the scything chains if you like.
Okay.
So that's a strength athletics check. Ooh.
I'm the strongest. So I'm like,
So
"No!"
the chain recoils and actually lifts you off the ground and kind of bashes you into the table a little bit.
As long as I'm somewhat helping.
Riodan, your turn.
Oh boy. I'm gonna keep trying because I'm a barbarian now.
So at the start of your turn, you are going to bleed. That missed the box, but that is 12. That's 17. You now this is not damage. You lose 17 hit points due to blood loss.
Oh God. I feel awful. Absolutely awful.
But now you may take your turn.
Is there a turn on for you since you're
Oh wait.
attacking?
Also, hang on. You were restrained by chains, right? Because the guy ran over and used the animated chains. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're also going to take 7 points of piercing damage as the barbs dig into you. Now that will be halved by your rage, so you'll take 3.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh no.
Well, I'll be able to attack for another round before I definitely need to start healing myself.
So now the issue here is, let me check its reach. So it is the Horn Devil is attacking you from 10 feet away, and you are restrained, so you can't close the distance to lash him. So you could reach him with your tentacle rod sort of power, your tendril power.
Yeah, I'll use my tendril powers. In that case.
Yes.
Oh, I was so close to a nat 20. It rolled over nat 20.
Yep. 19 hits. 25 hits. Jeez. Okay, that'll be 3 hits.
Alrighty, then it is a DC 15 con save.
Which he will pass.
Think.
So 11 points of piercing damage.
That's the one.
All right, so he takes that and is not happy about it, but he kind of hisses, and the tendrils just sort of boil and slough off of him, and then reform.
Oh, that's painful.
So, yeah. Yep. That was Riodan. Glaz.
So, I figure I've got Cloak beside me trying to help pull me out of the chains. I've got Chain Devil in front of me, and then maybe beyond the Chain Devil, some more of his chains hanging from the ceiling. Basically, I'm thinking that do I have a nice good line straight down this Chain Devil and some of those chains? I mean, I probably can't get the chain in the horn. I don't want to hit Riodan.
If you aim up, you could go over Riodan's head into the ceiling and hit chains.
Okay, so I can get the Chain Devil and some chains again. Same idea.
Yep. So as you begin your turn, the Chain Devil's barbed veil digs into its own face, and this horrible scream, this gut-wrenching, high-pitched, ragged scream, with a voice that you recognize, the voice of Valia, as the chains dig into her face and they peel her lower eyelid down, exposing her cheekbone. So you need to make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw.
Come on. Oh, and is it with leadership? Saves as well?
Leadership saves as well.
Come on, Glaz. Come on, Glaz. Come on, Glaz. See through it. See through it.
Do it.
Ew, I don't think that's going to do it.
I don't think it's going to do it either.
No.
There's no way, right?
Yeah, that's a 9. No good.
9.
No good.
Nope.
So yeah, you are frightened, but I don't believe your plan involves an attack roll. So
It does not involve an attack roll. So I think probably in the sort of the fear that gets him, he's not moving anywhere. It's just the no, and just again that ley line just basically gets pulled up out of the ground and then sort of lashes out up at the ceiling and across this Chain Devil. They are doing dexes again, and I guess the chains don't get dexes.
yeah, I don't think the objects get to make dexterity. Are you kidding me? That's double ones.
Does that count as crit damage?
Advantage, ladies and gentlemen. That is
The girl I like.
That is sad vantage. Go ahead and
As
give me.
Glass says that, Tilly's like, I knew it!
He said it.
Not too great roll, but it's a 19, so
Well, since he failed, that horrifying scream in Valia's voice turns into this guttural, deep bass rasp as its face is peeled back by the force damage, its head disintegrates, and the rest of its body follows. So one of the chains that is restraining Ryodan is kind of cracked and partially powdered on the edges, but it's still barely holding together.
So did the chain devil die, or just
the chain devil died. So yeah, the chains deanimate at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, Cloak is pulling the chain off Glass. He's like, I'm doing it!
Yep. There you go. Oh, did we give you? We didn't give you piercing damage at the start of your turn, did we, Glass?
7, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I've been paying attention, right? 7 automatic.
Correct. Yep. So that was Glazican Frick. He's going to make a couple of attack rolls. Rolls a 2 and a 4. So he's trying to press the devil from the horn devil from its flank, and is not really managing to get any good hits in. The devil is just kind of spinning that red hot iron spear, blocking his magical scimitar blows. It's more like a saber. Rowan, your turn.
Ah! Who's feeling hurt? Who's hurt?
Wait. The radiant bolt gives advantage to someone. Did someone attack it before? I was not paying attention.
Ryodan did. He
Okay.
he lashed the crap out of it with the sanguine skull.
Yeah, they all hit.
Yep.
Okay.
Glaz is bloodied, but he also is not in imminent danger right this second.
That's good.
Yeah, Glaz and Cloak are now behind cover with nothing immediately attacking them.
I believe Glaz and Cloak are both bloodied. I don't know about how Ryodan's looking. I know Tilly's taken a little bit, but I don't think she's really paying any attention to the wounds. So
She's
she seems fine.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to.
Ryodan does have the
Mass
infernal
Healing
wound,
Word.
though, right?
He does have the infernal wound. Yeah.
Ryodan looks pretty in bad shape, I guess.
Yeah, I'm casting a mass healing word,
Oh, all right.
Okay.
and that's at 3rd level, so 1d4 plus 6.
How many targets do you hit?
And 6.
6. All right. So who are you hitting?
And I also, Ryodan, Kai. Who else has been hit?
Glaz.
How close do they have to be to each other?
It's big range, if I
It's
recall.
Yeah.
it's a 60-foot range.
Okay, that'll work.
So I'm going to hit Ryodan, Glaz, Kai. Tilly.
Cloak.
Tilly's taking
And
damage,
Cloak.
but she's not, like, rough at the moment, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
is it
if
an X
you want-
number of
yeah.
people, or?
It's
Yeah,
6
up to
people.
6 targets.
Okay.
And I'll also get the dwarf.
He hasn't been hit. He's staying
He
well
hasn't been
back
hit?
from the reach of the devils, yeah.
Okay.
Vandesian's up
I
there, though,
can-
right?
Yeah, I'll add Van Desk into it. Can I add the leadership bonus to this as well?
Nope.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, Max. So they
Max
all get
healing.
10 HP back.
Plus, no, hold on, something's wrong. Plus 6 is
Oh,
not
plus-
correct. It's
Oh shit! It's plus
plus
3.
spellcasting
plus
modifier.
three.
Plus
Still
3, right, so
7.
7.
So everybody heals 7, and Ryodan, your infernal wound is staunched.
Oh, thank you.
That's the biggie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not bloodied anymore.
And as my
Good.
action, I'm going to get a little bit closer, but still out of range of being hit. Hopefully, probably about 15 feet closer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna trace
Yeah, that'll work.
I'm gonna trace Nycoping on the ground to
What does that do for us?
So, oh no, we're not under open sky.
Right.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. We'll do a level 2 guiding bolt then.
No, you can't. You cast a bonus
Okay,
action spell, so you can only cast a 1-action cantrip.
Okay.
So you could, Sacred Flame or
Toll the
whatever.
dead, whatever.
Yeah, Toll the Dead. Yep.
I just assume Rowan has to go Toll the Dead,
Yeah.
being a raven and all.
We're gonna do a word of radiance.
Okay. Is that a saving throw, I believe?
Yes. Con.
I believe that will
and-
pass. That's an 18.
Each creature. So I'll do the Horn Devil and the Chain Devil, please.
There's
Chain
only
Devil's
one,
dead.
but both Chain Devils are dead, so it's just the Horn Devil
Both
left.
of them are dead.
Yep.
Okay. Well, shit.
So okay,
So it's
I believe
gonna-
on a successful save, it doesn't take any damage. So it the radiant energy sort of fizzles out around it, unwoven by its infernal nature. So that's the Horn Devil.
For the rest, I think I still have a little bit of movement left. So can I get over to Kai?
No, she's on the other side of the room at this point, and far away. So you can move closer toward her.
I'm gonna move closer towards her.
Okay. So you could probably reach her on your next turn. So that's going to be the Horned Devil. And he is going to spread his wings, beat them once, and fly like an infernal arrow past Riodan. Not quite out of your reach. And he is going to lay into Rowan's back as she heads toward Kai. One hit with the fork. 2 hits with the fork. And 15 with the stinger. Does that hit?
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to
Oh,
be 30 points of piercing damage from the 2 fork stabs. And 10 points of piercing damage for a total of 40 from the tail. And I need you to make... You're down?
I'm down.
I need you to make a very, very important DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
What
Yeah,
did
you
you say?
do.
Very, very.
Do you have leadership?
She's got leadership.
Oh, fuck.
So that was
Alright,
it.
this is-
Con save, was that?
Yeah, DC 17 con save.
Okay.
Oh, that's a nat 1. Okay. All right. So which hit put you down? Was it the tail hit that put you down?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could hear that doesn't much matter because you rolled a 1. Oh god! All right, so this thing drives itself forward after watching this font of radiant energy just laying about this battle. It has had enough, and it comes down on Rowan with the fury of the 11 hells. It impales her twice through the back with its red-hot spear, and then pins her to the floor with its tail stinger, and kind of at her body, rips its tail stinger out, and as Rowan hits the ground, her form becomes ghostly, spectral, and you can see it beginning to dissolve into nothing at the edges. But she is still lying there for the moment, and you can see this just plume of what looks like wispy cigarette smoke that was her being, just wafting up away from her from that tail stinger wound that's just unraveling into nothing and spreading across her back. So you at least didn't take an automatic failed death save because it was the actual third hit that put you down, which is the good news. So that'll be Zephyr's turn.
The first two hits worth 30, and then the third one was
You took 40 damage total.
I think it was the third one.
Okay, that's fine.
It was 15, 15,
Yeah,
10.
15, 15, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15,
I
15,
have
10.
39
Okay.
hit points, so it
Yep,
the last one.
it
so
was that
automatically
last
safe.
one that put you down. No, you're good. You're good. You don't take any death save
stressing,
failures.
stressing
It was-
me out right now. That's what
Yep,
it is.
yep,
It was the
yep,
third
yep.
goddamn hit. Okay.
Yep. Right. So Zephram, he is looking a little bit panicked because the devil is now in his face. He is going to cast.
So he looks at the other dwarf in the room and goes,
Yeah, he's toe to toe with the devil right now. He is going to.
Weird, can I have some mouth to mouth, please?
Working on it. Regurgitate something. Now what do?
He's got one more slot. He could try to do damage to it. He probably can't stand up against that horrible bullshit, but getting away isn't going to do much, so he's going to drop another third level magic missile. 15 points of force damage as he cuts the axe up, and the blade never really touches the devil, but it crackles with this ruby energy that flares from the gem on the silvered axe, and it disintegrates a superficial section of the horned devil's abdomen. All right. Kai grabs the potion and slugs it. Was it a regular healing potion?
Yeah, just a regular.
Yeah. All right. So she will heal this +2. She will heal 7. And she will scramble backwards and dive over the bar to get total cover. She needs to regroup a little bit. Tilly, your turn.
Tilly
yeah,
is screaming-
you see your
Yeah.
friend. Yeah, collapse to the ground.
"Get away from her, you bitch!" and runs across the room and just waylays
I love
into the back of the demon with her hammer
That's
and
my
her
God.
shield.
All right, get him.
Go Tilly. Nice.
That'll do.
First,
That's one hit with a hammer.
and then we'll... In there. Oh, God. What's the second hit? Sorry, I rolled damage.
Second one hits as well.
Alright, both damage on those guys. Blam and blam! Get out my house!
So you're gonna take 5 and 4, so he takes a total of 9.
And then
Blam,
your
bam,
shield.
thank you, ma'am.
And then shield damage. She is
Oh yeah,
angry,
bashes him with the man.
She is very angry.
foaming and
locked in.
bleeding.
And taking it, no bullshit. That's 7 because it is silver.
Fitting with every
not
hit,
resisted, and he wails as it burns into his back, and he whirls to face you. Whew. All right. So that was Tilly. Cloak.
Two things I'm gonna do. I am. Well, a question. Can I stealth as a move action?
I mean, hiding is an action, so no.
Okay. Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast protection from good and evil on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to then make my way to Rowan.
All right. Yeah, let's see. Your speed 25, I think?
Yes.
So she was headed across the way. Yeah, you can get up next to her. Yep.
Okay. And I think that's my turn.
I believe that is your turn. Yep. Riodan, your turn, sir.
Oh, I'm ready a planar warrior just in case.
So you use planar warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, just if I get an opportunity attack.
Yep. Makes sense. Yeah, Riodan. So your infernal wound was staunched, so you're not bleeding profusely. So your turn, sir.
All right, and thank you that made gaming for the host narrator.
Yes,
okay.
thank you.
So Rowan is on the ground, and there's some kind of ghost.
Like she has turned ghostly and spectral, and her body and essence is just sort of evaporating in this wispy, almost cigarette smoke looking trails of mist.
Nope. Can I get to her without provoking some kind of attack?
She's right by you, so yeah. You can just scooch right over and you're next to her.
Remember, you're raging.
You are indeed raging. So you cannot cast spells.
You can't cast spells.
But lay on hands is not a spell.
Okay.
Rules for once.
Raging paladins can lay on hands.
That's true. That's true.
Lay on hands is sort of like a glorified
Laying on hands.
Your own team.
So you're laying on hands on Rowan?
I am, and I'm gonna do, 1, 2, 3.
just defibrillate me.
How much healing do you put in?
That's she was like really killed, so I have
She's at
5
0.
times my.
Yeah, you have 30.
Yeah, you have 30, a pool of 30.
I'm not going to use it any other time, so just take the 30.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can give it to other people within like
you
15 feet as well, right? I don't.
No.
No, you can.
No?
It's touch.
Okay. I'm thinking of cleric's wand because I've been playing real.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can break the healing up as you like, but yeah, dumping all 30. All right. So Riodan sort of runs his palm along the barbed lash of one of the scourge tendrils, slices his palm open, and this luminous glowing blood pours down from his palm onto Rowan's body, and as wherever the blood drops onto her strange spectral form, it absorbs the blood and starts to look more solid, and the color comes back to it. Rowan, your eyes snap open with just this searing agony exploding across your back, and you come back to sense-shattering consciousness. Her form stops evaporating, but she still has this very washed-out, desaturated, kind of translucent look to her that begins to fade away, and she starts to look more normal again. So you're conscious and not dying, so that's cool. Do you have any bonus actions you want to take, Riodan, or is that your turn?
Wait, no, I'm gonna keep reading. All
right, Glaz, you're up.
I'm torn. How is this horn devil looking?
I mean, it's wounded.
He's not bloodied though.
Mm-mm.
And we've established there's no strong ley line through the silk scabbard, correct?
There is no strong ley line, no.
Yeah. Okay. Glaz is he's not desperate yet. Glaz is going to cast Chromatic Orb at 3rd level with leadership again at this.
Okay.
For lightning damage.
All right. How many 3rd level spell slots you got?
This is the last one, because remember the first one I did a 1st level because I didn't know whether Chain Devil was going to be able to take lightning damage. So
how many 3rd level spell slots do you have?
3, because I'm 6 now.
You've lay bolted twice and 3rd level Chromatic Orbed once. That's 3 spells. That's 3 levels.
Oh, you're right. I must have knocked one off. So I do have a level 2 left. So we'll do a level 2.
There you go. You can level 2 Chromatic Orb for sure.
There you go. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I was wondering. It was funny. I couldn't remember whether I had not marked one off or not.
No worries.
So,
get him.
There you go.
What damage type are we going for on this guy? Going lightning again?
Lightning again. I did a nat 1. So there you go.
Ooh, no good. So the it sort of just furls its wing out and bats the orb away, and as the wing membrane touches the magic, it nullifies it.
Yep.
Glaz. Thrick. Thrick is going to... he's going to attempt to press this thing as best he can. Not like that. Oh, and that one missed the box, but that's a 6. So that does not manage to do it. The devil just sort of lashes its tail at Thrick as he advances, tangles up his feet, and sends him stumbling to keep from falling, spoiling his attacks. Rowan, your turn.
All right, you bitch. Level 2 guiding bolt, please, and thank you.
Okay. Make us your attack roll. You will have disadvantage on this attack roll because you are in combat with the creature.
First one's a 16, the second one
16.
is...
All right.
Even worse.
Yeah.
So you kind of roll over and just sort of lash out with the guiding bolt, almost desperately, just trying to fend it off, and it goes wide and traces a luminous trail along the rafters of the ceiling. Do you want to do anything else? You still have a spiritual weapon active.
Oh, it's still active. It didn't go down.
No, it wouldn't
It's
go
not
down when he died?
concentration. It's not concentration.
Amazing. I
Okay.
will... I'll do some of that, please.
Sure. You
But
make a spell attack.
Is that...
No
that's
disadvantage.
no disadvantage.
That's a melee spell attack. Ooh, that'll hit. Give me some damage.
Okey-dokey.
Force damage from the wrathful spear of Wotan.
I have too many tabs open right now. Too many spells.
It's D8 plus your wisdom bonus.
Okay. Don't fail me now, Wotan. Good enough.
Yeah, 5 damage. Pretty good.
She's just going to, almost as if she was holding it herself, just sort of stab it in with a very vengeful look.
All right. It tears through the wing membrane that it just waved out to dispel Glaz's chromatic orb, and it kind of and looks down at you and bears these needle-like fangs in its too wide mouth at you, Rowan. That would be the Horn Devil.
I'm just going to check what languages I have for a moment.
All right.
She's just going to mutter something at it in Hugin's tongue. And
Okay.
just
You sort of
screeching
clack
at it.
something and screech and ruffle your feathers. It is going to. I think it's gonna dig into Rowan, who is prone. I mean, you didn't have to be prone. Did you want to stand up?
Yeah, she was standing up.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All right.
Well, looks like
only a
it's
12.
It's roast raven tonight, boys.
Oh, no.
19 will hit though, and a 23 will hit with the tail. So you take
the 12 hits
15
as well.
damage. What's that? The 12 hits? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh well, we're back to that thing we did before. So he stabs you twice with the fork, which I believe is your 30 hit points, and puts you back down. And
I
he,
should have let-
sneering at Riodan, lashes the tail into Rowan's chest while she's unconscious on the ground. You fail 2 death saving throws. And you need to
I
make
should
a
have healed
DC.
for 29.
You
I
need
should
to
have
make a
healed for
DC
29. I'm so
17
fucking bad.
Constitution save.
So fucking bad at games. Oh my god.
I was about to tell you, save one in case you need it for later.
Oh, where's that paladin advice? When I needed it to score.
Please, pray. Let's do this. I do get
Yep.
the +4 as well from the.
You get the plus. Yes, you get the. No, you can't hear him because you're unconscious. So no, you do not.
Oh boy.
So it's just a straight Constitution save. Oh no! 16 fails by 1. So Rowan is prostrate on the ground. Her body begins to come apart. She's failed 2 death saving throws, and you can see her essence bleeding out from an infernal wound in her heart. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Zephyrin.
Bye.
The dwarf is going to attempt to stabilize her.
Thing.
All right. So he has stabilized you. You're not dying, but you are still bleeding.
I'm still got an
kind of,
infernal
you know,
wound.
so the dwarf looks around. He's starting to show fear at this point, and you can see there's a ripple in the air around him. It's almost like there's this faint twist of light, this distortion. It's like a bubble that moves with him. He kind of swears under his breath in Dwarvish and bandages like quick battlefield triage, slaps one of those poultices that Kai used on Rowan's wound. So that's bought her a little time, at least, because that clears her death save failures.
When Tilly hears
Kai.
him swear under his breath, she's like, "Yeah, get angry. You've not done anything." Tries to
Hey now.
Get better dice.
He shoots you a look and goes back to trying to save Rowan. Kai is not part of this fight at the moment. Tilly, your turn.
All right, going to the same old Tilly. Just angry.
All right.
Get off my pal. Get off my family. Just raging and screaming the whole time. So, no matter uno.
20 will hit.
Dirty
20 hits.
Damage. Second hammer
Good
hit.
lord, woman. A 30 will hit.
Is it necessary? I don't know. And
It's
then
overkill.
I foaming in her mouth. She's happy with a 30. Let's go.
And a 20. Good lord.
She takes commands well too. She's been getting
Yeah, she
fours on
does.
all of those.
Yeah, she does.
She's used to being in the military. It's good.
All right. After a punishing onslaught, it seems to shrug off the hammer blows. It takes damage from them, but it almost doesn't even really notice them. Every time that silver shield hits, though, it snarls in pain and rage, and it leaves another burn mark on the creature's flesh. It's still not looking bloodied. Like, it's got wounds, it's battered, but it's not there yet. Cloak, your turn.
Cloak is like the whole scene in front of him. He's like reared and brought Rowan back up, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have to do anything now." And all of a sudden, do, and he's like, "Jesus fucking Christ!
Son of a
Why did
bitch.
you not run?" And at level 2, he's gonna cast Cure Wounds on Rowan.
All right.
And let's roll that
2d8 plus wisdom bonus.
So this will be. This will be a total of 6 hit points. Because I'm good at healing. And at this point, Cloak grabs you by the gruff, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then stands in front of her, between her and the fucking Horn Devil.
Okay, so you're kind of standing over her at this point.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll provide her with half cover at least, and so Rowan, you snap back to consciousness again as radiant energy washes through your form. You have 6 hit points, and your chest is no longer bleeding, thankfully.
Is that the infernal
Glaz, yes, magical healing stops the infernal wounds,
Riodan.
so you're good. I'm sorry, you're right, Riodan. Yep.
Remind me how many channel divinities I get?
I believe you only get one, sir.
Yeah, I don't think you get your second one yet.
I'll
could
double
be
check
wrong.
that real quick, but yeah, I'm pretty sure
Is
it's just the
it
one.
might be at 6.
I don't think so.
I think clerics. Yeah, that's clerics.
I do remember. You get your second channel divinity. Never?
Yeah, no, paladins don't ever get one. It's clerics.
Yeah. All right. To explain.
Because you always have to make the choice of which way you want to go.
Yep.
Okay. Rowan is up. I do want to be clear on that. She's now up from Cloak.
She's conscious. Also,
She's conscious.
I have protection of good and evil on me right now, so I'm probably the best person to stand in front of you at the moment.
Yep.
Okay, so I will, from behind, lash at the creature,
All right.
allowing it to attack Cloak. Good idea.
You lashing or
That's
smiting? Smite would be good.
Yeah. Are you lashing or attacking it to smite it?
Well, how many smites do I have in this game?
As many as you spell slots.
Oh, sweet. All right, yeah, then let's hit him because I have double attack and 3 of those left. Oh, those left.
All right. So make your attack rolls that. Well, that'll hit.
22.
Yep. 22 will hit.
5 points of damage and a divine smite.
And smiting him, so that's 3d8.
3d8.
And I should roll those together. That makes
all right.
Nice.
14,
16. Radiant.
21. All
Nice.
right. It howls in pain as the lash digs into it and flares with that incandescent red light burning into its flesh. Your second attack?
Oh. Yep. And thank you to Jordan Drake donates 10 pounds. And let's see if there's a good or a bad thing here. A magic item. Ooh. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to send that info along to Dan.
Just a random magic item, or did it have any?
Oh, it's got some suggestions here. I'll shoot it to you.
All right.
Is it,
Okay.
is it a magic item of Rowan not dying again?
In a way, yeah, it looks like a maybe. Okay, so my second attack.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say sorry, no, but we'll do something cool with it.
Sounds good.
That's a 9th level spell, man. Sorry, not happening. 17. It grabs your wrist as you lash it and starts to grind your wrist bones in its grip that doesn't hit.
All right. That's both my attacks use up my smite. All right.
Is there a D4?
Hit him. Oh, leadership.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh, it does.
Yep, leadership. That'll hit.
Oh,
That'll
baby.
hit.
Thank you for remembering that.
All right, give me some
21.
damage.
Damage on that is let's do another. I can do more than one smite and one turn, right?
You can do it every time you hit.
As long as you got spell slots.
Yep.
Yep.
So
And
Of course, they start going
Yeah.
fast.
So an extra
Yeah, they do.
13.
An extra 13, 18 total.
So,
All
18
right.
14, really.
2 thunderous cracks with the lash of radiant damage. It staggers back half a step.
How does it look?
It looks like it's got a pretty nasty gash across its chest, so it may be bloodied at this point. Barely.
Okay.
Not
All right.
loving that.
Glaz, your turn.
Glaz pops up from behind the table,
All right.
and he reaches into his pack
Mm-hmm.
and pulls out a black metallic sheet of metal and unwraps it and begins.
Unwraps. So you pull out this canvas-wrapped bundle. The canvas is moldering. It's turned black across most of its surface, and as you go to kind of whip the cover away, that entire half of it just sort of comes apart into fibers in your hand, and all of you see this tarnished brass sheet with those horrible runes and glyphs inscribed across it. And Glaz speaks one word. I think I know what you're doing, but go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, he actually, it's a string of words. He starts string of words in void speech as he uses the nullifier lexicon that he has attuned himself to cast maddening whispers on this horned devil. And the only thing I don't, it's my spell DC, or is there a special spell DC for that?
It's your spell save. It's your spell save DC.
It's charisma, so I'm afraid he's probably
pretty
charismatic. Come on, that one.
Kidding me. It's not a nat 1, but it's a 2 and a 3. So Glaz whips out this blasphemous artifact. The canvas covering it just crumbles away into ash and powdery filaments, and he starts to chant, Varthur, Giran, Natharash, Varas, Kirthek. And every time he says one of these words, it's almost not his voice coming out of him. It's distorted. It's guttural and rasping. And every time he speaks, you can see his lip begin to split and he starts to bleed. Every time he says one of these words, it's like all the sound around you becomes muffled. And you can't make out exactly what the word is. And a wave of nausea just punches you in the stomach. The sound of these words is so wrong and strange. The horned devil clutches its head, drops its fork, and falls to its knees and begins to scream. It's trying desperately to scream, but no sound comes out of its mouth. You feel this psychic pressure as it telepathically screams into the room, but even that is shredded and thready and like minnows picking at your mind rather than any sort of actual scream. It's like the only thing you're really aware of are these words that Glaz is just rattling off at this thing, and he just stares daggers at this devil, and the devil just stops what it was doing, and it's twitching and tearing at its own face, and you can see its eyes have turned black. So the devil is incapacitated, and its speed is 0. So yeah, it can't take actions or reactions, and can't move. So Thrick turns and vomits messily into the it just kind of off to the side as this whatever it is rolls over him. He wipes his hand across his mouth and sort of staggers back and just sort of stares at Glaz in so he's pretty stoic for the most part, but it's growing horror. Rowan, your turn.
He's not mad, he's just disappointed. Razashan, what did you do?
I am just this string of speech.
Oh,
I just
God.
look at the devil. It's like he is locked down.
Oh,
Yep.
boy. Probably don't need to try what I was going to do then.
So
Oh, God, sorry, being the player, I'm horrified.
yeah, that's fair. Real quick.
As a character,
Am I
I'm
gonna have-
horrified.
Yeah.
Am I going to have to make a con save against throwing up?
Yeah, it's up to you to decide. You don't need to make... Oh, actually, what we do need to do is... let's... No. You guys aren't subject to the spell, so it's just very unsettling and very clearly noticeably wrong. There's just all kinds of nastiness with this language. It's like your mind is trying not to understand it, even as you hear him speaking it. But no, you can take your actions and just you're nauseous. Your bones are like ache a little bit. It's very strange.
She's just gonna try to do another guiding bolt.
Okay, get him.
It's just desperate. I think a 22 should hit.
22 will hit.
Okay. She's trying not to.
Hold on now.
glass.
So currently, let's talk mechanics a little bit right now. Currently, it is incapacitated. So if you move away from it, it can't make opportunity attacks against you. So you're still like laying on the floor with Cloak standing over you, next to this thing.
Yes.
So you want to get away from it?
Get up and get away and move.
Okay.
Move towards Kai
So
as
yeah,
well.
you can only get about 15 feet back, but that'll be out of its reach as long as it doesn't move. Glaz, if you want to say something, you can.
Oh, I just say
You could take like a breath worth of break from the
kill it.
All right. So go ahead. You hit a 22 with that. You hit a 22 with that, right? All right. So go ahead and roll me some guiding bolt damage.
5d6, I believe.
Another level 3.
This one's a level 2.
Level 2.
21,
Yeah.
though.
Okay. Yeah. Right. 21. That's real good.
I'm guessing that leadership is no longer in effect now.
Yeah, he's kind of stopped doing that.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, there's a whole
never-
different kind of.
He has never encountered void speech before. That was very jarring to him. You guys have all of you have at least seen this thing, if not heard it spoken. So your minds and souls were at least partially prepared.
Have Rowan and Tilly? Well, we've seen
That
we've
was
seen
Rowan
the-
and Tilly
You guys, they've seen it. They've seen it. So they've experienced
We
its
haven't heard it.
presence.
Oh, have you seen the
They've
lexicon?
seen the tablet. Yeah, they've seen the lexicon. All right. So the horned devil, I believe it took damage, so that breaks the maddening whispers. Right, Glaz?
Oh shit!
No, that's not my understanding of it. My understanding, I've got it up right now. Let me read it out to you.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I was gonna say, it just says while they're incapacitated by the spell, the target speed is 0 and can't benefit from increases to its speed. To maintain the effect, you must use your action on subsequent turns. Oh, you're right. Yeah, the spell also ends if the target takes damage. I
Right.
was thinking he was locked down.
So if you wanted to say that, you could tell her to wait if you wanted to, because that's a misunderstanding on.
Yeah,
Plus
I'm
one.
sorry. I was thinking. I thought it was
All
as
right.
long as I used my action, he was still incapacitated.
If you damage him, it breaks. So
Right.
basically, you could tell her to wait.
Yeah.
To do it, and then
Waste.
Yeah.
So, Rowan,
instead of
we
saying
can-
kill it, I'll say I can hold it.
right. So Rowan, if you want to ready that spell till later, till maybe somebody else attacks it and you're in less danger, we can keep all your rolls
Yeah.
and you can just launch it later.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so after your turn is the Horned Devil's turn, which it misses because it's incapacitated. It just keeps writhing and doing that strange silent scream, and it starts tearing at its ears, trying to rip them off.
God.
The dwarf looks in stunned disgust at what's going on, but he reaches down and grabs this massive iron polearm and throws it over the balcony and
See,
backs the
but
hell
it's
away
good.
from the thing. So he chucks that over. You hear the screaming is continuing down there. You hear these occasional popping sounds and barks that kind of move around the room in strange ways. And you hear a couple of people shout in alarm as it clang, 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 clang down to the floor below. Kai is going to clamp her hands over her ears and start muttering a prayer to herself over and over and over again, praying to Lada, the Maiden of Healing. Tilly, your turn.
Okay. I'm able to attack twice with my shield and then a third attack with my shield. Is this a thing?
If you want to just make all your attacks with your shields, you totally can. Yep.
I think Tilly's seeing his skin split every time she's like edging it with the shield, and she just goes
Yep.
two-handed and smacking it with the shield.
Okay.
Terrifying. Sorry, guys. Tilly's not a go attack.
So
roll,
no bonus D4 on
Oh,
your attack roll,
yeah.
but that 19 becomes an 18, still hits.
Okay, cool.
That's one hit with the shield. So basically,
Okay.
Tilly goes Captain Midgard on this thing and just starts wailing the rim of her shield into its face.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed on that. Whoop, there you go. And then a third.
That's another hit. Yep.
And then I'll just drop all the damage at one time.
2 hits. That's going to be 2 hits.
Okay,
The
cool.
third one just sort of skates off of its horns.
Sure.
7, 9, total of 16 unresisted damage. So that will break the effect. And Rowan, if you want to go ahead and unleash your spell at that point, you can.
Oh, yep.
Actually, you could even do it. Yeah.
I'll let her do it now, because I
We'll do
get
it like that.
advantage.
Yep, true. So that was Tilly's turn. Now is Cloak. So this thing, it's like boiling pitch is what it looks like, is pouring down its face from its black eyes. As Tilly starts wailing into it, you can hear its skull cracking, and it reels backwards, and that effect breaks, and Glaz kind of lets out an explosive breath as the pressures of this magic release, and he stops chanting. Ugh. And its eyes snap back with fury, but now you can see there's a hint of fear in them. and it scrabbles around for its fork, realizing it's been thrown away, and kind of hisses and drops into a crouch. It's your turn.
I want to grab its tail. And I want to start hacking at its tail. And as I hack at its tail, I want to be like, God, you fucking idiot! God damn it! And then he's like attacking the tail as it with Glaz right now. So the first attack has Planar Warrior.
And it has advantage because the guiding bolt has surrounded this creature in a scintillating glow.
Yeah, so let me... Actions, there we go. So advantage on this guy. A 23.
That'll hit.
And this will be 10 force damage. And since that Planar Warrior got used up, I'm going to reuse...
I'm reading that as 14 force damage. Is that...
Oh yeah, 14. Sorry, I looked at the 6 and the 4, and I was like 10. Okay. I'm not numbering right.
That's all right.
So I'm going to use Planar Warrior again because the Planar Warrior I used was from last round for my second attack. If I'm able to do that,
that doesn't work. No, I believe it only. It doesn't stay around like that.
Well, no, because I still have a bonus action.
Yeah,
or no, does it?
You have to do it again.
Yeah, because I think I'm going to choose one creature you see within 30 feet until the end of this turn. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah.
It doesn't last between turns.
So I used the Planar Warrior on this attack. So okay, I thought it stood to the next attack. So
right.
Then I'm going to do a straight up normal attack.
Okay.
For normal people damage at a 19.
That hits.
And I'm beating the shit out of its tail, and I want to chop off its tail. That's what I'm trying to do right now, yelling curses at Glaz.
All right. So you're just kind of like two-handing this blade of yours. Doesn't really help that much, but you're that angry. You're borderline incoherent. You're frazzled. You're bleeding. You're scared, and you just launch this flurry of attacks, and the hellfire-infused sword slices through the tail. You stomp on it. You hear the bones of the tail crack. You drive the sword down in, lever it, and pop the tail off. And the devil spins around, spraying hot blood out of the severed stump of its tail that splashes across the eyes and chests of everybody kind of in the immediate vicinity. And it reaches out for you and locks its hands around your throat and is trying to pull you up to its face to bite your head off. And you just slide the blade between its ribs, angle up into its heart, and it just stops. It doesn't scream. It doesn't twitch. It just freezes right there. And you hear this soft sound as from its eyes, it starts to turn black and rot into this thick, gelatinous goo. And the entire body just crumbles down into this stinking, spreading pile of black ichor.
Does the tail do the same thing?
It does, yes.
Okay,
it's actually like it's like twitching and flopping, and it looks like it's still trying to sting of its own accord, and it just sort of flops over and starts to come apart.
But what about its fork?
Not sure. That was tossed over the edge. There is a din of screaming and yelling still kind of echoing from down on the first floor, and everything is just sort of still up on the second floor balcony. Vandesian blinks, wipes his hand across his beard again, wipes the blood that's heating his sword blade now to red hot, wipes it off on a fallen chair, and just sort of wordlessly sheathes his blade and settles back and just sort of looks across all of you, and eventually manages a single nod.
So Laz is standing. Oh, go ahead.
That's all I say. Actually, Cloak wants to look at Glaz right away to see if he's fucking putting away the tablet or if he cannot let go.
Glaz is looking down at the tablet, but then is looking around for, seeing as the other thing disintegrates, something to wrap it back up in.
So, you can find like a towel that a server dropped.
Yeah, so I will need to get something better than this, but this will do for now.
Rowan is going to stumble over to him and just, as he's wrapping up, grasp, like, put a claw up to his throat. Never.
Glaz will resist. Glaz will resist. It will try to knock your hand away.
Never do that again.
What the hell is going on? I was pretty awesome back there, for the record. Okay.
You were very awesome.
I don't know. Why did any of this happen? I just walked in, I was having a chat with Danielle, we were about to have bagels. I brought in some bagels for everyone, fresh baked. And you guys, I don't know what you've been doing. Did he summon them? I mean, he sounded like he was talking demon speak, devil speak.
Glaz are grounded from the library.
Fine.
This is some kind of weird library thing.
Could have killed all of us.
No, actually not. Just take study, and why do you care since you're already dead? Thank you for telling us all.
But what?
She is a spirit.
Tilly has found somebody's ale off a table somewhere, was halfway through a chug.
Do you deny it?
What?
No. I don't.
She is a ghost.
What the
A wayward
fuck?
spirit. Did you not notice when she was attacked back in the graveyard?
I would call myself more of a living memory.
An echo, whatever.
Sorry, just walked in on this one, still not 100% there with you all.
What?
I'm sorry.
The
What are you
devil's
talking about?
your friend, Rowan. She is not alive.
She's been here. She's been alive for most
She's
of her
never
life?
been alive. Have you?
Look at Rowan.
Well, you were alive at one point. Someone killed you, though, yes?
Glaz, did you take some of my old stash of drugs?
So
I was saving them for a rainy day.
I'll interject a moment here. Those of you with healing magic, so particularly Riodan and Cloak, Rowan really can't be undead as far as you understand it, because your cure magics have worked on her, which they would not function on an undead or a construct, but they work on her.
But you know, I do that by life, and then she comes back up. I thought that was just a cleric thing.
She is something special, that is for sure.
Tilly will interrupt. What's
Quite
going on,
alive.
Rowan?
Tilly, I'm sorry you had to find out like this. I've been dead for 30 years.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You've aged awfully well for a ghost. Or have you?
Thank you. That night that I got this, she points to the scar. I didn't survive that.
But why are you here? I need to sit down.
I don't know. I'm not quite dead. I'm certainly not alive.
So, is there a reason why you hermited close to our home? I don't know why your spirit would stay. I can't right now. What?
Jesus, am I actually the chosen one? Do I have ghosts?
Call me your
You were looking pretty
guardian
chosen
spirit.
out there against the devil.
I was feeling pretty hot today. I have to lie. I think it was
I mean, you did
dangerous.
call it out, and it was like in fear of you because you were so awesome. But you're a fucking ghost.
Also, that yes, let's address that. Are you? I mean, I saw your sort of spirit stuff coming off, and I have to admit, it does kind of seem like you are a ghost. And then you did just say that.
Are you who you were when you were alive? And what? Who used the scar? Who? How? When did that
I don't
happen?
know.
You always
I
just
don't
told me you didn't know. I mean,
I don't know who did it.
Puff, puff, I need
was
a comfort
dead.
dog.
And Riordan, if you wish for proof, channel your divinity.
I'm
Go.
good, thanks. I actually don't know if I
That
have
was
any
not-
use of
that was
I
not-
was going to say,
That
you know,
was-
do a short rest before
Yeah.
you get it, and I don't think
Yeah,
you're
I don't
vengeance,
rest
right?
yet, do my best.
yeah, he's vengeance.
Yeah. So yeah,
he can't turn on
you
dead.
don't get that one.
I mean, let's say I believe you. I mean,
But
it's a weird thing to lie about.
So the panic from downstairs has begun to die down at this point as you guys are trying to come to grips with what's going on the second floor. You can hear a pair of strong voices, one male and one obviously female. The female you recognize as Kaja, and she is gathering people, organizing them, calming them down, stopping the panic. And you can also hear a voice that you've really never heard raised before, but it takes you a moment and you realize that it's the voice of Tyron, the owner of the Silk Scabbard. And when he starts snapping orders out, people fucking listen. And they quit running around like idiots. He starts talking about how the immediate danger is past. He has hired specialists to handle just this sort of thing. Everyone is perfectly safe. And he starts kind of ushering people out in a more calm fashion. Kaja goes around taking a little bit of a lighter touch, and she's more of catching flies with honey, as opposed to Tyron's sort of authoritarian take on it. And they start moving people the hell out of the Silk Scabbard. As that's going on, Puff Puff comes trotting up the stairs. Her tail is slung low, and her ears are like flat back, and her ridge, her hackles are up.
Oh, Puff Puff.
Why? I'm not. Come here, Puff Puff. It's okay now. And Sylvan.
You can thank her for saving me from falling.
Well, you're a ghost. You wouldn't have been hurt.
As you can see, I almost died twice. Died again. Whatever this.
How could you die again
I'm
if you're
dead.
already dead?
Good question.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm
So
like
you
petting
died.
Puff Puff. I'm like trying to calm her down. Is she looking at something specifically?
Not really. She's kind of sniffing the air, and she just seems incredibly agitated.
Yes, no, it's gone now. It's gone. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There we go.
did the two chain devils dissipate when they were slain, or their bodies up here?
They did, in slightly different fashion than the Horn Devil.
But there's not like big chunking chains up here or anything.
There's remnants of chain left, but mostly the bodies have disintegrated. Yeah.
Okay. I assume there's the remnants of exploding. Yeah.
Glaz and There's bits of what's his name? Barris. There are large-ish chunks of Barris still lying where they fell, and yeah, there's this kind of half-cooked caramelized blood and gore spatter up on the ceiling over one of the walls. Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Can
After
I
putting
take
the-
my empty... No, go ahead.
What? I was just going to say, after putting the Nullifier's lexicon away, Glaz is going to start prestidigitating, trying to clean up, because this is kind of their home. clubhouse, whatever.
Cloak would start putting like his empty vials and filling it with the horn devil blood that's like seeping around and like trying to fill them before Glaz comes with his prestidigitation, and putting them away in his bag, and kind of be like, yeah, I don't know who did this, but it was a blood ritual of some sort, so that's fucked up.
Right.
We'll talk
Well,
about
I
this
guess-
later. Roland.
Yeah, maybe.
Do we know who was it a target? Do we feel like was a main target for this? I
I
mean,
mean, personally, I'm
right up.
very targeted by that
Well,
one
Probably.
for a while.
my theory is that it was neither gang, because they don't... It's blood magic. Where does blood magic exist?
It was us.
Yeah, that's a good question.
His whole chosen one shtick.
It's after me. Oh, it could have been her, couldn't it? Could it have been? Could have been.
This took time. Like, it wasn't like, oh, here, drink this, and oh, he got demons inside you. No, this took time and planning. Like,
We were expecting an attack at some point, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
We did
Yeah,
say
Roland,
we should probably get people away from here because she's going to come after us in some way, and then we're like, oh wait, there's suddenly blood devils in the basement. Maybe,
I did see
Quick
this.
question. Go ahead.
I
Dan?
did see this coming.
Sorry, we're all talking to each other. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Good.
that's
Go ahead.
it.
Go ahead, Ma.
You go.
All right.
Oh no.
All right. Okay, Squall.
When Cloak is talking about that, I just did myself an insight check on him.
Okay.
Especially knowing the owner of the hedgehog,
Mhm.
does the fact that Cloak is rattling off so much information about
He is incredibly knowledgeable about infernal creatures.
filed.
Now, what that means,
Oh yeah,
hard to
no,
say.
absolutely.
But
It's
no,
just
he is-
I want to make a note of
Yeah.
taking a note.
he is legit knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yep. I would say that he
Valuable.
has sage level knowledge of these particular creatures that you were facing in this situation.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you hammered that Arcana check pretty good there. So
Yeah.
And you got got a good insight. So at this point, the remaining Black Shields, there were a few who were still down on the first floor. It looks like they were helping keep things calm down there and helping get people out. So that's what they were occupied doing. At this point, Thrick, Kai, and Zephram have kind of convened the three of them over at the bar, and Thrick is helping himself to a large crystal decanter with something very rich amber inside of it, and is pouring shots for himself and his two companions. They all grab these glasses, clink them, and they all just pound whatever the hell liquor that was. And after they just sort of have a moment of just together in that, Thrick sort of squares his shoulders, straightens up, and walks over to you guys. The sound of his heavy boots thumping on the wooden slats of the floor. He looks around and says, "Well, I would say the negotiations went rather well, wouldn't you?"
Oh, well.
You're right about one thing, Master. Negotiations were short.
Yes, well.
I think you can
I
see
don't
it's now not
I don't profess to understand what happened here this evening. But I do get the feeling that the Cloven Nine, despite the infernal nature of these creatures, were not involved. They seemed genuinely terrified when they exploded out of Pool Barris.
Oh, you missed my speech earlier, didn't you?
Your thoughts?
Oh, neither gang did that. That was a planned ritual.
Very well. I don't think I'm in the frame of mind to hear about this sort of thing now. If you wouldn't mind, perhaps we could have a drink sometime and you could fill me in on what it is that I missed, your little speech and your thoughts. I am going to have to send a runner over to Valus and his tieflings to make sure that we can hammer down this piece that we had sketched out before everything went quite literally to hell.
Yeah, I think it's best if we're not there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think you've done enough. You got us sitting at the same table for long enough that I think we have a solid foundation laid. But he looks over and his face creases with concern when he looks at Kai. I'm going to take my people out of here and make sure that they're taken care of. You know how to find me if you require it?
Is Kai still look pretty beat up?
Oh, Kai looks awful. Yeah. She's limping, and Zephyr sort of gets his thick shoulder and arm kind of around her waist and is propping her up and helping her walk to the stairs. And she's got one hand pressed to her stomach.
I'm like, right, and then I come up and like on her stomach, I cast Cure Wounds again.
Okay.
My last level 1 spell.
All right.
2 hit points.
That is.
I fucking suck at healing people.
That is your trademark, sir.
I know. And then I also give her a regular healing potion.
She nods her thanks, and she does look relieved, and some of her color returns when you cast the healing spell. When you offer the potion, she kind of places her gloved hand over yours and pushes it back. She says, "Thanks, but no, you're going to need that. I have a feeling. I'll be all right. You've done more than enough. I can make it out of here, no problem."
Okay, well, I'm glad you're okay. And then
she kind of cracks a half smile and says, "You and me both, gnome," and she sort of limps her way with Zephyr the dwarf off to the stairs and out of here. Thrick follows after them, kind of stops, turns around, and offers you one more nod, and his face is lined with concern, but he turns and heads down the stairs after his people. And as we are coming up on 11 o'clock, I think that is where we're going to stop for tonight. Holy crap, people.
Oh my god.
I thought we were fucked for a while.
Yeah,
imagine if I had not rolled like shit the whole time.
Imagine
like,
if I
really?
had rolled.
Had the worst dice I've ever seen.
Amazing. Unprecedented.
I just want to point out the fact he still crit me.
Yep.
That's a staple. In every fight, he has to crit me. I don't know how it works out, but it happens.
Yep.
I took toughness for a reason.
Imagine how differently that fight would have gone if I had more than 12 AC.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to work on getting you armor.
Yeah. I don't like being rushed.
Whew. All right. Well, that I think went well, all things considered. And
That's a lot to digest.
there were some clutch things there. The void magic spell eating an entire turn plus opportunity attacks of the Horn Devil. I mean, that was a big deal. That could have been Rowan dead right there.
Yeah, that was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I can't believe I baited myself so fucking hard on the heals. Like the 30 heals.
I'm really glad the rune casting worked.
Yeah. That rune card.
That was cool.
That rune was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a very deadly, but there were a lot of you. You had a lot of NPC support. Thrick's leadership. Oh my god, that was a workhorse.
The leadership.
I feel like the only potential good plan I had, which was to throw away the fork, the dwarf that I had been giving shit to the whole time, threw away the fork, and I was like, okay.
Your plan
again. Great.
Your plan. Simply your plan to stand in things' faces, be really frigging hard to hit because things kept having disadvantage to try and hit your AC 21. No, that was a great plan.
It's
22,
by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh god.
I'll let you have it though.
Loved it.
What's the other?
Oh my god.
I'll send you my sheet. I'll just save it and send it to you.
Yeah.
Cool.
How many vials
We
of
need
blood did I
a
get?
rest episode next week, I think.
Yeah. Next week.
God.
DJ.
We're
Next week.
recovering for a while. But yeah, that's all we've got time for tonight, my friends. If you haven't checked out Kobo Press yet, go over to kobopress.com. If you want to be playing in the world of Midgard like we've been doing, if you want to be having some stressful encounters, then the only place to do so is in Zobek, in my opinion. So go to kobopress.com, check out all their wonderful books, PDFs, materials for Midgard, and all of the other gazetteers that are going out on their website. Almost, it seems like every single day they've got something new over on that site. So definitely go and check those guys out. Let's go around the cast and the crew as well. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Oh, and if you want to tune in tomorrow for Encounter Roleplay, that starts at the time of 2 o'clock Eastern for Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep, followed by Warhammer and Tales from the Loop. So super looking forward to that. But Dan, holy moly, how was that running that combat tonight? Bravo, by the way, for pulling
thank
that
you.
off. 3 hours, like holy shit.
It was a long combat, so I hope it was entertaining enough to watch to everybody, for all our lovely viewers who came. And so glad that you guys jumped in and joined us. I had a great time. I try to make combat as interesting and dynamic and rich as possible, with a lot of options for you guys to do different things, for give each of your particular shticks a chance to shine, and I think you all absolutely did that. So my hat is off to you guys, because you guys killed it. You had some really clutch moves. You had great rolls at the right places. This was really good and could have gone really, really bad.
Amazing. And where can we find you online, Dan?
Oh, right. So I'm on Twitter at Dan_Dylan_1. I love talking Midgard and D&D in general, and game design and all that fun stuff. So yeah, hit me up, and I'd love to chat.
Fantastic. And thank you to Gratuitous RP for the raid there. We are finishing up tonight, but welcome in, Raiders. We've got some reruns later this evening, so hopefully you guys can enjoy some RPGs nonetheless. Thanks so much, Dan. Signal Jackson. Oh, what an episode.
Hi, Simple Jackson here. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Tilly. And I have had a really good time this episode. I was frankly super nervous coming into it, being the least experienced out of everybody here, but I'm glad we had a good time. But you can find me at twitch.tv/simply_JXN, or Twitter, no_, just simply JXN. I make art, I goof off, play games. Right now there's a lot of packing. You can see, well, y'all can't see, but there's boxes and stuff behind me because I'm moving to Seattle this summer, so I'm trying to get ahead of the game. But other than that, that's it. That's my life. See you around. Get out.
Fantastic. And McCloken, what movies let me know you from?
Well, the first one you might recognize me from is The Devil You Know. Too soon. And Void Magic 101. I love long fights. I love battling in as much as the RP, especially long fights where they're difficult, because I like the tactics, and I like how I have to update my tactics after each individual turn. Like, there was points where I was like, I'm gonna do this, and then something completely fucked that up, and I was like, well, this is what I'm doing. Like, literally, when I was behind the table, I had to change my plan 4 times. Because I was like, this is what I'm going to do this turn. Something happened. No, I'm just going to fucking do this turn. Well, if this happens, I'm going to do it's all about, like, contingencies, and I fucking love it. I love plotting it out and doing that kind of stuff. And I literally thought we were going to have to run from the fight, knowing what was happening. But the dice were really in our fucking favor. And there's no fudge in that one. So... That was. I
do want to reiterate, it was not just dice. It was a lot of the decisions that all of you guys made at the right times to do it.
Go team! But that's it. You guys follow me at Twitter, at McCloken. You guys can find out what show I'm going to be on and kind of keep up to date. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. I love talking about D&D. I'll shout out one show. If you guys come here Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central, there is the City of Mist King's Hustle campaign run by my wonderful partner. I believe it's the last episode for you guys.
It's the
got a great cast
of this season. Thursday, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's got a fantastic cast, and the show. I recommend going and watching it from the beginning, season 1 and 2, and getting caught up on that because it was fucking fantastic. But thank you, Dan, for being an amazing DM, and that's all I got.
Absolutely. And Scarlet Moth, how was that tonight?
Oh, that was stressful. Oh boy.
Yeah. No hard feelings with the very clearly trying to kill you while you were down.
Oh god, when it rains, it pours blood apparently. So.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'm normally way more into the RP, but I really love, especially in this game, just how RP focused the battles and combat encounters still are, and it still gives you a chance to show what you can do in character. And yeah, I kept having to change my plan because I was like, oh, I'll trace the rune on Tilly so she can go all berserker. Oh, okay, she's not even helping me up. Okay, Riodan, I continue to torment you.
It's
Great.
always me.
Also, always.
Hey,
Oh, God.
that face paint saved you a lot of damage.
It's true.
Yes. Yeah, you've been sort of flirting with a dead bird. Well done.
Yeah, that's weird. It's probably not. It's not the weirdest thing it ends down by far.
I don't know, he might be into that.
True.
We're not going to yuck any names here.
Where can we find you online?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at @ThatScarletMoth. I'm an artist, cosplayer, D&D player, and I also talk a lot of shit. That's what I do. Yeah, you can find me playing in various D&D shows. Just watch my Twitter for what it's going to be.
Fantastic. And last but not least, Tall School.
I had fun. I had a great time. I love combats. I love trying, again, something with tactics and kind of figure things out. Glaz has had that up his sleeve for a little while now. He basically was backed into a corner. He was out of spell slots. Well, he had a shield for a just in case that he was saving, and he had Misty Step just in case to get the hell out. But other than that, he was done. He was tapped, and it was barely looking bloodied. So Nullifier's Lexicon. Me and Dan have been discussing it for quite some time, and Glaz has been sneaking off and attuning himself to it. So,
is that what's
hanging out in the library?
Yeah.
Shit.
I am Tall Squall. You can find me all over the internet as Tall Squall. If you go to my Twitter page at Tall Squall, you will find me there. And for those of you who are interested, on Saturdays at 2:00, I DM a campaign. We're on our now 91st episode, but it's our big finale of this big arc that we have been going through is this Saturday. So if you want to come see some craziness there, come tune in.
Fantastic stuff. All right then. Well, my friends, cannot wait for next week. Cannot wait for the next session to see what the hell happens next in this crazy adventure. That was fantastically fun. And yeah, combat gets a bad rap, but when you're all really into it and the combat is that tense, it makes for a real nice change of pace, let's say, from just the RP stuff, and the stakes are really high, and I love that stuff. So fantastic. Again, big hand to Dan, because I tell you, it's not an easy job to make combat interesting for 20 minutes, let alone for 3 whole hours. So
and so many NPCs.
So many NPCs. Yep.
Oh man, well, that's all from me, my friends. We're gonna head off. See you guys tomorrow at 2 for Masks of Night of Photip, Call of Cthulhu. But until next time, my friends, try not to throw too many now-ons. We want to be the laughing when you do. Good night, everybody.